Yeah. Guess what time it is, ladies and gentlemen? 8 o'clock, Wednesday. Petty Sports time. Hey, what it do, baby? I'm Mike Bell. We got FamousFeez. We got our man, Mr. Banks, on the end over there. Miss Lay. She has some other things going on tonight, but she'll be back next week. So we greatly appreciate y'all tuning in tonight and hanging out with us. You know what I'm saying? We do what we do. Hey, man, you know we always got some funky, fresh, hot sports topics to lay on you tonight. You know what I mean? So call a friend, neighbor, co-worker, text a friend, neighbor, co-worker. Let them know we on. We in the building. It's that time. Share the show. Share. All right? You know what I'm saying? We got a special guest coming in tonight that's going to talk to you about a golf tournament that's going on. So just have a seat, good sir. And hey, welcome to the show.
Motherfucker right here. Starting off the show, Mikey Bell doing it already. We had our mics turned off. We can't do an intro.
Can y'all hear that man?
Oh, you can
y'all hear that man?
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yeah, that's the intro, right?
Oh, you didn't want to talk while you talking. So you control the mic now.
Y'all was talking before we started, so I shut them off.
That's a lie.
Hey, man.
You said
y'all was talking before we went live.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Bobby Bell.
Bobby Bell.
I'll take one. Let me have one.
Fat Joe, what's happening,
That's how you do it. Hey, man, y'all already know what it is, man. Welcome to another edition of Petty Sports. It's about to be real. That's how we get it in. I appreciate that.
You love a guest, come bearing gift. You love a guest, come bearing gift.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Compliments of the cigar box, Douglasville.
It's going to get extra petty today. Y'all need to stay tuned. I've been waiting all week. It's really have to wait till Sunday night, but y'all know it's coming.
I'm celebrating the one win of the season. Dirty Bird, rise up, Raheem Morris. Oh, we on the rise, baby. Hey, we going 11-5.
Man, stop.
Well, you believe that? I got some land in London to sell you.
Y'all going 11-5 over the next 2 years combined?
11-5. Let's go, Raheem Morris. We in his thing.
Yeah, I wish the Falcons well, but I don't see it going that good. But
congratulations about to go all the way into analysis.
I'm just saying, man.
He was about to.
No, I wasn't. I just said I'm glad the guy won the game, man. I'm glad the Falcons pulled one out. You know what I mean? As y'all can see, it's already getting petty. You know what I mean? It's going down, man. We appreciate y'all guys. Like I said, man. Y'all could have been anywhere else in the world, but y'all choose every Wednesday at 8 o'clock to be right here, and we greatly appreciate that, all right? So do us a big favor. Share the show. You can call into our what's the name of this show, man?
Petty Line.
The Petty Sports Line. The Petty Sports Line.
Take his glass. 871-9602. Take his glass.
678-871-9602. Call in. We love to hear from you guys. Hear your comments and thoughts about any of the topics that we may be discussing at the time, or some of the comments. We try to keep up with you in the chat room as well. So, you know, without further ado, man, ATL, hold back to the regular scheduled program. How you guys' week been going so far, man?
I mean, it's a good week for me, but, you know, I mean, that's why I came in on extra petty. Hold up. They can't see me past the laptop screen. Is that what it is? I'm going to let that down for a second so y'all can see what that is. Atlanta is for dreamers. Y'all dream about winning games, championships. I don't know what the hell be going on right
I think
here.
it's more so.
It's ridiculous. That's why I put this one on. Instead of the petty sports shirt, it's ridiculous on so many levels. We're going to get started with y'all
let's
with
talk
the
about
college team.
Can I tell you how my week been? God, boy, I'll tell you, Bobby Brown and Bobby Feez. And
No. Don't call me that.
But Atlanta is for dreamers.
Just
That's how most of y'all got here. Your transplants came here dreaming of something big, and we changed your life. But with that being said, I'm repping the Birds, man. You know, first win in the books. More to come. We're going to talk about it. I guess you're going to try to talk about the Braves and all that stuff. We're going to get there. Let's go. I'm with the shits.
They did it to themselves.
FamousFeez, I started already.
They did it to themselves. Why ain't nobody got no Braves hat on?
Well, I didn't wear mine this week.
We got
I
the
wore mine
Falcons,
last
the
week.
Five Stripes, the Hawks. Ain't nobody repping the Braves?
Well, the Braves, the season's over with. I had it on last
so was
week.
the Falcons.
No, it's not, sir.
This season was over when it started. That was a terrible excuse. Good God.
Well,
we're going to get to him in a second.
Well, one of our teams on a 2-game losing streak. I ain't going to say which one it is.
They got more wins than y'all.
It don't matter. You on the skids right now, though. You on the skids right now, baby.
Got more wins than y'all.
But you on a 2-game losing streak. See, trends is what matters.
No, really not. So, starting off with the trends, Alabama straight handled Georgia in the second half. Just straight dominance. So, I mean, without just breaking out, but we're not even going to get to the dominant part of what Bama is doing. What happened in that game? Georgia came out like they really, I was surprised. The first half was like, well, Georgia looked a lot better than I gave them credit for. And then in the second half, they looked like Georgia. Listen. They falconed it. They Georgia'd it. They did what every team here do.
They do what Georgia does against Alabama for the last 3-4 seasons. It's been the exact same thing. Except for this time, Alabama just stayed with Mac Jones. They didn't have to bring in the ghost guy off the bench to beat their ass. It's the exact same thing. I was sitting there watching the game and people all excited, and I told somebody early in the week, Stetson Bennett won't beat Nick Saban. Nick Saban loses to mobile quarterbacks. You can look at it from, what's the boy name that's no longer in NFL, Manziel, Deshaun Watson. You know, that's the type of quarterback that'll beat a Nick Saban team. You know, Trevor Lawrence, he do what the hell he's going to do. But, you know, it doesn't matter. It wasn't going to be Stetson Bennett, a JUCO retread, back for the third time, like Ludacris, back for the fourth time, whatever. How many other times he's been back in Georgia? He doesn't have that to be able to beat a Nick Saban team. And Georgia does what Georgia do. First half, we're going to be okay, and it just seems like somewhere in that tunnel, Nick Saban, the Sith Lord of the college football, sends out something like a little Ouija board on Kirby Smart and say, hey, boy, remember who your master is. And Kirby just shits the bed. Failure to make second half adjustments, and of course the 3 interceptions didn't help, is the reason why Georgia will not pass Alabama this season with Stetson Bennett as a quarterback.
I mean, that's all that Georgia is doing what they do, man. They came out with a great game plan. Granted, that interception in the beginning was questionable. It really got me to thinking, why exactly is it that college football, at least in the major games, I mean, the Georgia-Alabama game is better than half of the matchups we watch for the NFL all season. Why do we not have more angles? The best angle we could get was somebody's leg in front of the camera. Any NFL game you watch, if there's a play where it's like, oh, did he catch that or not? They get you 15,000 angles and you get the one that's right up underneath them and be like, oh, it touched the ground. I mean, I don't know that he did or didn't catch it. It looked questionable, but there was no angle to overturn it, so you can't even be mad at the call. It just looked like it could have gone either way. But outside of that,
profit sharing. That's all it is. NCAA assholes don't want to give up that money to spend for all those different angles and do all that, because if you do it for one Power 5 FBS team, you got to do it across the board for all college sports, and that's the problem.
Man, ain't that like a decision of the network? Like, no, I think CBS could do that.
But I think they have to pay for that, though. Like, I don't know that that's something that, you know, you say, okay, well, if that outcome changes because you offered a different camera angle that you did not offer in, say, the LSU-Tennessee game, and that wasn't a primetime matchup, that could be a problem, because now it's unfair. It's not that level playing field. You get what I'm saying? So
when has anything been fair?
Well, I'm just telling you.
If you want that kind of coverage, then be good. Try that.
Well, there it is, too. But, hey, I'm just telling you how petty they can be in the NCAA.
If you're not ranked in the top 10,
you don't get.
And you're not playing against somebody ranked in the top 10, you ain't getting no replays.
Well, there you go. They got replays in high school.
But they don't have that NBC camera that turns and zooms in. Like, we need some of that action.
Like Matt Ryan got the field vision when he made that run and threw it to Julio Jones for the touchdown. We'll talk about that later, too. Let's go.
The camera made him look better.
It might be, because he does look slow as shit. And he is slow, but we know that.
Man, after that impressive second half from Bama, they outscored Georgia 21-0. Number 1 defense in the country. Mac Jones put over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns on him. I mean, it was a clinic when they came back out in the half. But is this Bama team poised to beat Clemson or Ohio State?
Bama is always poised to win. Beat Alabama, Ohio State, just like any other team. They are always ready to go, firing on all cylinders. Clemson give them issues. They have issues with mobile quarterbacks, period. But they're always poised to win. You know what I'm saying? I think they have a good chance at going to the Nationals and perhaps putting up a good fight for a ring.
Let me ask you a question. Ohio State yet to take the field this year.
Yep.
So everything about Ohio State is pure speculation.
Yeah.
Just like LSU was ranked in the top 5 before the season started, and look what the fuck they are. It's hard to keep saying what Ohio State's going to do, and I think it's a slap in the face of the teams that have been playing now for 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and Ohio State is not taking a snap, and they're still in the top 10. Like, it's just a slap in the face to me. And I'm sorry, because they could come out and they could literally shit the bed. And it makes everybody else look like a dumbass for putting them in there. If you have not played a game, there's no way you're preseason ranked and you're still in the top 25. I'm sorry.
Well, that's the norm.
I disagree with that. I mean, Ohio State didn't lose their whole offense. It's not like LSU. LSU lost everybody, coaches included.
But
Ohio
we understand
State's returning
that.
the same people.
But they had them ranked, and I think they were like preseason number 2. So, yeah. And we all knew that. We all knew that they lost the entire fucking offense. 3 key members of the defensive line and 4 off the, and I think the entire offensive line went. So we all expected a drop off. We knew that, right? OC left. I mean, everybody knew what the fuck was going on, but they still was ranked that high. So now you 6-7 weeks in, and you know Ohio State, are they set to play this week or the 26th, right?
I think it's this week.
It's this week. So now they'll get a chance to take the field this week, and we'll see. But if they don't come out and blow Nebraska out, does that knock the luster off Ohio State? And I threw that in there because it's like you said, will they be able to beat Ohio State and so on and so forth? With the Clemson situation, it's still rather difficult to tell who the Clemson team is. And like they beat the snap out of Georgia Tech, like we said, it was like somebody invited Jackson State to go play Clemson, and they just put up 70 points on them.
Deion might have done better than that. That looked like they was playing Wofford or South Carolina State.
So it's hard to tell who Clemson is. And I mean, we all talk about every year. They don't play nobody. Now that Notre Dame's in there, that'll give them more of a litmus test as to what they got. We thought that it might even be the North Carolina. I think they had North Carolina on their schedule. But then they shit the bed against Florida State.
No, they wouldn't play North Carolina.
They don't play North Carolina.
ACC championship.
Okay, so that's what it was. But then North Carolina shit the bed, number 5 in the country, shit the bed against Florida State. So again, it's like, who is this Clemson team? We know Trevor Lawrence is bad. We know, Etienne is a top tier running back. You know, presumably a first rounder coming out of that. You know, yeah, and he stayed. He stayed because they said, hey man, you got to learn how to catch out of the backfield to be more like an Alvin Kamara type back. He's worked on that piece, and Dabo's shot him out. We just don't know who Clemson is, and you won't know until if they continue to blow Power 5 or FBS teams up by 70 points, we know who the fuck they are. Like, they are who they are at that point, and I don't think nobody can mess with them.
Why do they have to blow teams out by 70 points, but everyone else just has to just win?
Well, you think about it. So you're trying to think that Alabama, North Georgia doesn't have a stronger schedule than Clemson? Each and every year.
We're not talking about each and every year. We're talking about right now.
Well, I'm just saying, traditionally.
You're going to go historic? Because I'm looking at the schedules.
Okay.
This was the whole point.
Okay.
Bama beat Missouri, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, who was unbeknownst to man why they're ranked number 7 is beyond me. They were ranked 13 when they beat them, but outside of Texas A&M and Georgia, no one else on their schedule is ranked. They got Tennessee, Mississippi State, LSU, Kentucky, Auburn, Arkansas. Not a single ranked team left.
Well, Tennessee dropped out of the.
Doesn't matter where they were. None of them are ranked anymore.
Understand what I'm saying to you, sir? They still got a nice. Still got a nice team, and you got to believe that all the talent. Garen, whatever the fuck his quarterback name, he's lost his job. So
those
now,
teams were ranked because they took the Big Ten and the Pac-12 out of the rankings. They took 11 teams out of the top 25. There was a lot of teams that were ranked that had no business being ranked.
Ohio
and they
State
were way
still
higher
there.
than they should have been. No, they just put them back. Those teams were ranked crazy high. Like they put them back this week.
Okay, and they should not be there now. Is what I'm saying. That's my whole point.
So the high rankings that some of these other teams had weren't deserved. They had to put somebody in there. They added 11 teams that weren't ranked.
Okay, so that's what you're saying. So they were undeserving of the numbers that they
shouldn't have been there anyway, and now they're out.
So why wouldn't Ohio State be ranked? And they're always ranked every year. So what would be different this year, other than they're starting late? They should very well be ranked just like all the other teams.
Exactly. They're returning everybody. Ohio State is going to run through Nebraska. They win a couple of games. They're about to move all the way up to number 3, and it's going to happen fast.
Exactly.
And just like Georgia loses to Bama and completely blows the second half, and they only drop 1 spot, how are they number 4?
It's everybody's ranked before they play a game every season.
Like, they're still ranked number 4. It's ridiculous. Like, you're supposed to drop more than one spot. You drop one spot, that's like you lost the game by one possession on the last play of the game.
Because
that's not
well,
like
you
you get
lost
beat
to the
21 to nothing, and they're not the number one team in the nation before you come out your mouth
The
with
number
that.
2 team. They were the number 2 team in the country. Georgia was
You
the number
were
3
number
team.
3, and you got smacked.
And they lost the game. It's a game.
You got smacked, 41 to 24.
Okay, so where should they go?
They should have dropped more than one spot.
To where?
At least to like 8 or 9.
And
You lost by 17 points.
It doesn't to the number 2 team in the country.
If you're ranked number 3, nobody in the country should be good enough to beat you that bad.
That's not no.
You should drop.
This is Georgia.
That's
how shit going.
Are you okay with a 17-point ass whooping because it was
not,
Bama?
It's not about being okay about it.
You were expecting to win. You got ran off the field, and all of a sudden you think, oh, well, we shouldn't drop very far because it was Bama.
Because you want to yell about it. No, what I'm saying is the number 2 team in the country beat the number 3 team in the country. I don't know what the spread was in it. They lost by 17 points. But again, you don't drop that low because you lost to a higher ranked team. It just doesn't happen. And they turn around, they lose the upcoming week to an unranked team. You say, okay, well, yeah, they didn't deserve that at all. Georgia has proven that they had coming into a top-ranked defense, so-so offense, still trying to get it. Rushing game is still on tack. They deserve what they are. Clemson's going to be who Clemson is. Alabama's going to be who Alabama is. Georgia has shown that they're going to be who Georgia is. Now the rest of the field
just don't know who Clemson is.
Well, you know who they are.
I mean, apparently you don't.
No, what I said was, and again, you don't know who they are in comparison to all the other teams. But until they lose, somebody come close, they're going to be the number 1 ranked team coming in. That's what they are.
Georgia loses every year, and when they lose, they never drop more than two spots.
No, that's not true.
They never drop more than at least 2 spots.
No.
Last year they lost to an unranked South Carolina,
and they still made the playoffs.
Well, that ain't got nothing to listen.
That's what I'm saying. They don't drop that far in the rankings to where
they didn't make the playoff last year. Alabama
with the SEC.
Well, that's the SEC championship. It has nothing to do with playoffs.
Well, I mean, that's the prelude to going to the playoffs.
Well, but they were the best coming out of their conference, and that's all that was. Alabama still did their thing on the other side. That's all it is. That doesn't matter when it comes to college football playoffs. We'll talk about that later on as well. It's all about, conference play, strength of schedule. All that stuff plays into it. And when you look at it,
that's why they don't drop very far, because of the strength of schedule.
They do drop
in conference.
They drop a lot.
How far did they drop last year?
I don't know what their final rankings were.
What is their strength of schedule now? You thought it was great before because he beat Tennessee and Auburn, but Tennessee and Auburn, neither one of them are ranked because they were both way overrated. They both lost to terrible SEC teams because they're also terrible SEC teams.
Well, when Georgia played Auburn, they were ranked number 7.
Auburn's no longer ranked.
When they played Tennessee, they was ranked number 14. It's
no
not
longer
about
ranked.
When you keep saying they were no longer ranked, like it doesn't.
Now your strength of schedule is like you need a team to actually stay there.
But when they played them, they were at a certain level. Okay, so just like Kentucky turned around and beat them Tennessee, okay, you
blew them out.
So
they beat Tennessee way worse than Georgia did.
Sure did.
Did Georgia beat them that bad?
No, they didn't. But that's just a straight debacle.
No, they're soft up the middle. See, pass them.
Yeah.
Pass them up. Turnovers.
Hey, I mean, look, historically, for what we've seen over like the past decade, the only way to beat Alabama is to have a quarterback that either is mobile enough to buy time to expose their secondary, or you have an offensive line good enough to give your quarterback time to throw the ball. You can throw the ball over the top on them. Most people cannot block their front 7, and you never get time to put the ball up there. That's generally what happens.
What he was saying was basically, had Georgia stuck with the run game because they soft up the middle, they would have had a better chance of winning and having a much closer game toward the end. They put that game in the hands of a 3rd, 4th, 5th string quarterback to win instead of sticking to what was working.
He's a starter.
Now he is. But I'm just saying,
business starter is a different question,
but
right?
you putting the game in this guy's hand, and you should have had him at best trying to manage a game.
What are you doing?
Well, that's Kirby not so smart.
Living off of this kid's arm who's not proven at all.
No, we say it all the time. It's Kirby not so smart, just like the fake punts a couple of years ago. I mean, Kirby not so smart. It always comes down to second half adjustments between Kirby Smart and Nick Saban. And it's always seemed like Nick Saban is always one step ahead. Yeah, you always like, well, I know Nick, he's gonna do that. He's like, hey, dumb motherfucker trying to counter some shit. He ain't even seen the punch throw. He ain't even seen the indicator yet. He's already trying to counter it.
So since y'all got all the excuses in life all just prepared and ready to go, what can Georgia do to stop losing all these big games with all this talent?
I think the biggest piece is
coaching, man. It always come down to coaching.
With all of it, not. Y'all said Falcons, it was Mark Richt.
Well,
we couldn't get this far with Mark Richt. You know, we started out.
You got one game farther. Congrats.
Well, the bottom line is, it's always coaching here for us. Whether it's the Falcons or the Bulldogs, it's always coaching. We're always a team that has talent. Always. We're never at a shortage of talent. But the guys in charge who calling the plays, drawing up the X's and O's, they don't know what the fuck they doing.
It's not. I think it's the biggest piece of the entire puzzle, right?
You let Justin Fields get out.
And that's
man.
that's where I was going with this. The biggest piece of the puzzle is that Kirby thinks that he has the Alabama formula where we can just throw prior to a game manager in here, and we're gonna be able to run the ball and do all this, and our defense is gonna keep us in the game. We're gonna be able to win national championship. Well, that has changed now. With Tua, with Trevor, you gotta have a legitimate quarterback in the NCAA now to win it.
Y'all check out that meme.
You're not winning it with, Stetson Bennett. You ain't winning it with Jake Fromm from last year. It just ain't happening.
Oh man, I totally agree with the quarterback spot. I mean, like the quarterbacks that come through were all just straight pedestrian. If they actually had somebody at the quarterback spot and they could actually sustain offensive drives against the better teams, when they put up points against nobody and then have folks that like, we put 47 points on Missouri, like, so what? You can't do that when you play against the top teams. That's where they fall off. You can't put 40 points on a Bama, on a Clemson. Like, that's where you need that. Like, they don't have the horse. I mean, they have the horses, but they don't have the person. Like, the jockey ain't right.
Hey, if y'all agree with that meme, give a thumbs up out there in the chat room.
Hey man, I agree with you on that wholeheartedly. Like it just comes down to just what it is, man. Bad coaching and the selection of who's going to be the quarterback of this team, and that's going to haunt Kirby this year and over the last 2 years, last two previous seasons when he had Jake from State Farm out there doing it. I don't know what he was damn doing. Nothing. And you lost good quarterbacks, out of your system, fooling around with that debauchery.
When he had Justin, he didn't even let Justin throw the ball that much, man.
He didn't let Justin throw it all.
Justin didn't throw it all. I don't know why he said that.
Well, he threw a couple here or there, but not
literally.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A couple, but this guy here, he actually trusted this kid to go out and beat Alabama with his arm.
He started him the last
with his arm.
Again,
crazy. He
is the guy that Kirby said he's starting.
And you beating them up the middle. They had no answer for that.
And
the game was working so well.
I mean, what the fuck?
Let me ask y'all this.
What's the flying flip?
Y'all know Kirby Smart. He's going to be a stubborn-ass kid from Bainbridge. What is it going to take for Kirby to take Stetson Bennett from the quarterback position? Do you think he does it? Like, I think he's just stubborn as hell and he won't do it.
It's going to take another L.
I don't think I know the option.
I think he got several options. I agree with you wholeheartedly, Feez. It's going to take another L before he does it.
Oh, absolutely. Man, it's 8:24, though. We got to pay homage to the late, great Kobe Bean. Go ahead, count us down one time, Bobby Bell.
3, 2, 1. Kobe! Yeah, we pay homage here every Wednesday to the Black Mamba. Rest in peace, me brethren. LA Lakers, baby. The Lake Show back in town.
Yes, sir. We got to make that happen. But we can talk about this all day. We're going to move on because we got the DB segment coming right quick. I call it that because y'all know I ain't going to talk about it. The Atlanta Braves, famously, in Atlanta fashion, blew a 3-1 lead in the NLCS, fall short of the World Series after 2 years straight losing in the same spot. What can the Braves do to right the ship, man? They got to get to the World Series. What is the problem?
So hats off to the Braves for a hell of a season. Nobody thought they would get to where they are. You still outperforming for a lot of it because you didn't have a whole lot of starting pitchers. Your bullpen was lights out, phenomenal. Offense doing what they do. You lost to a better team on the books in the Dodgers. The Dodgers are who they are. payroll shows it. The way they, hit is what it is. They were leading the seat. They lead the NL and the majors in runs scored. Lead the majors in number of home runs per team. They lead the majors in, I think they scored now in the playoffs like 67 points after the 7th inning. Like, that's just what the Dodgers are. So shout out to the Dodgers for doing their thing. The Braves could do a couple of things, right? First and foremost, correct the fucking base running errors. Like, the Ozuna one in Game 5, you've been tagging up since you were 9 years old. It's just what it is. Guy catch the ball. Hey, third base coach says go. You go, you break forward. Then Game 7, and I don't know how many of you guys out there are baseball fans. If you're on third base and the ball is hit to the left side of the infield, the rule of thumb is you freeze and get back to the bag. But our good old home cooking old Dansby Swanson decides that, hey, I must be fast. I'm really fast. Ball could be hit to the third baseman in the hole right here, and I'm going to beat it to home. I'm going to outrun this throw. That led to a situation where we were first and second with no outs or one out. I think it was no outs. And got doubled up, and then Pache came in and grounded out. And the other part of that was Dansby gets caught in a rundown going to third of a ball that was hit to the third baseman. And Austin Riley still leaves second base and gets thrown out at third again. Oh my God. To me, that's Little Leagues. That's Santown Park. That's a 12-year-old coach yelling at some kids. Like, really, you don't expect the majors to do that, right?
It was entertaining to me. I actually watched that.
On the biggest stage you can possibly have, trying to get to the World Series, Game 7, and you'd have a brain fart like that.
I chalk it up to youth. I mean, these guys on the big stage
Not
for
Dansby.
the first time.
Not Dansby.
This is their first time on the big stage.
Come on, you number one overall pick.
Against the
You
Dodgers.
number one overall pick
Well,
coming out of college.
hey,
you went to
Ozuna-
Vandy.
Even with
Come
Ozuna
on.
being on third base, you watching him look at the ball being caught and still didn't tag up.
Well, if you watch him, he went back to tag up and then he bounced off the bag.
like so.
Hey, man.
Now, he's a veteran guy.
Yes.
And he brain farted.
Hey, man.
So I mean, it's the lights, camera,
Well, I don't think
scenario, man.
So you gave him a participation trophy. You said they're young.
I say it's bullshit.
I think the youth they earned stripes. I think they earned some stripes this year.
Listen,
They earned. You probably never see that happen again.
Dodgers get back
Them
3
being
times.
in the NLCS.
Dodgers get back to the World Series.
Running errors like that.
Yeah, Dodgers weren't phased by it. 3 times in 4 years making it to the World Series.
That's right.
They've been there, right? Seasoned veterans, they got it. Just like if you got Golden State doing their prime, they were like, man, we ain't sweating it. The Lakers, we talked about it. LeBron weren't really sweating. That's what the Dodgers were. We're gonna keep chipping away at it. And hey, unforced errors, base running errors. It's what separates good teams from bad teams. You look at the pitching. The Dodgers in Game 6 and Game 7, the discipline at the plate of not chasing those all-speed pitches low and away in the zone, looking at it, watching it like, no, I'm going to make him come to my pitch. The game, Muncy took an 8-pitch at-bat for a single, and then Seager took an 8-pitch at-bat for a home run. That's discipline. That's not saying I got to do it all on my swing. To Mike's point, you look at Acuna a lot of times, you get up there, he's trying to swing for the fence. He's trying to make it happen with one swing. These cats are just like, nah, he got to come see me. I can take that. I can take that. 8-pitch at bat, bam, I'm going to get one up out of here. That's the poise of a veteran team. That's a team that's been there before. When your mama say act like you've been somewhere before, they act like they've been somewhere before. And that, and that's the difference. Well, that game there was a throwaway game anyway.
Even with that being said, I'm not very thrilled with Snicker. To me, he always have a problem managing our pitching.
He didn't manage that wrong.
He took Shane Green out too early when they went crazy in that fourth game or fifth game.
But here's the thing about
that was disastrous. Shane Green was pitching well,
but you still had to come back. You had 3 more games in back-to-back series, and you're gonna have to have.
That was his first time out. He hadn't even pitched.
But here it is again, though. You don't get him roughed up. You don't get his psyche messed up. You get him out of there. You're still going to come back. And in the Game 7, like you thought, this is going to be a tight game. I might have to go with everybody.
We would have probably won that game had he kept Shane Green in there.
It's hard to say
when he
that
took
now.
Shane Green out, they start knocking the shit out, crap out of that ball.
You say shit? Oh, you can't say shit now?
I'm trying to
you
be
can't say
respectful
shit?
of Mama Feez. You know what I mean?
Well, I say shit all the time.
They
He say shit and damn now. He don't say the 4-letter word.
He don't say it on air.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like Snicker, he can do a much better job with the bullpen. Up to this point, he hasn't proven that he can.
Let me ask you this
especially
question.
with the starting pitch.
Well, let me ask you this question. You bring up Snick, right? When Snick first got the job, everybody figured he was a stopgap guy. You know, coming in from the minor leagues, did 20-some odd years in the minors. A lot of these cats were familiar with him. We're going to bring him up not for the long term. Just bring him up to, say, hey, you know, let's get Snick in here, kind of, you know, manage this till we get everything right. We got some young cats down on the lower end. He can manage this until we can find that real skipper, right? He's proven himself to be that guy. And I ride with Snicker now at this point, man. Like, he's proven himself to be a manager in the MLB, and he can do what he got to do. I fucks with Snick.
I think he will keep his job because of where they landed this season in the NLDS. But overall, the pitching without the starting pitching that he does a terrible job managing the starting pitching.
Well, I think they're gonna have a couple of guys. They had some injuries that happened as well. It's just one of them things, man, where you ran up against a buzzsaw in the Dodgers.
And it comes down to coaching. And he didn't do a great job coaching that bullpen. Had he managed not the bullpen, but the starting pitching better, we would have fared much.
You can't fare much better than Game 7 and had a 4-2 lead in Game 7. Like, what you?
We could have went out. We were up 3-0, 3-1.
Dude, it's the Dodgers.
That game he took Shane Green out. That was our opportunity. He should have pulled out all the motherfuckers. Keep Shane in at least for one more inning.
Let me give you the mindset. Let me give
Y'all
you
hear
the
this?
Let me give you the mindset.
This is why we
got
got
my
my
other
the
meeting,
Atlantis for Dreamers.
But here we go.
You got my
This
other
pity
meeting
party
closed.
could go on for hours if we allowed
Watch
it.
this, Feez. I'm gonna give you this.
You got the other meeting.
You got 30 seconds.
Having a son that's been on national championship teams, been in number one team in age groups of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Understand that we've been down in games, and every one of those kids all said one thing: we get another at bat. We get another at bat. And that mindset and that we are not going to lose until the third out, to the 27th out. That means a whole lot, and that's who the Dodgers are. Like, the Dodgers just will not lose. They don't think that it can be beaten. And that's a mindset that you got to grow into. 3 times in 4 years in the World Series. That's what they are.
And they've been down
they're
before.
just not a team from Atlanta, but that's a story for a whole nother day.
You go with that shit.
It's all good, man. Like I said, I think our boys earned some stripes, some valuable stripes this year, and they'll be back in the mix. Yeah, man.
They earned a lot of memes.
Well, that too. I mean, that comes with the territory just from being a team from Georgia. But I think those young guys earned some valuable stripes. They'll be here. They're not going anywhere.
I agree.
We gotta let this pity party go.
Well, I'm fine with it. You know, I'm not making any excuses. I'm still upset. Like I said, you know, I place most of the blame on Snick with that managing the pitching.
Okay.
It's all good. We got plenty more on the docket. Y'all keep it tuned in right here. Oh, I almost called it all of the wrong thing. Here at Petty Sports. Y'all don't even want to know what I was about to say. Good God. Y'all stay tuned right here, man. Mike Bobby Bell about to give us some, pay some bills for us right quick.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in and kicking it with us tonight here at Petty Sports. Brought to you by Kingz Broadcasting Studio. Everybody that's starting that watch party, we appreciate it. If you haven't, what you waiting on? You know what I'm saying? Share the show. Help us go viral in digital. We talking good sports. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about the Braves, the Bulldogs, not the Falcons just yet. Clemson. Couple of college teams, Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Get at us. Call in to the Petty Sports line at
678-871.
9602 678-871-9602. Call in. Make it do what it do. We love to hear from you guys. That's how you can be a part of the show. And ATL, ho. We on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Periscope. You go to the Simple Radio, type in the Pulse 880. You can hear us on our radio station right there, man. We all over the place. And if you got a smart TV, type in Boxcast. 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 One word. Type in Kingz Broadcasting. You can watch us on your big screen over there. If you got Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, we on there, man. Just type it in and you can check us out in your man cave or your she shed or something like that. And, you know, show everybody. Share with your friends and all that, man. So we greatly appreciate you guys doing that for us. Right back to the regular scheduled program.
Yes, sir.
You
We
didn't
coming
end
right
with
back in.
ATL ho?
I had already said it.
Never stopped you before.
Yeah, he'll say it multiple times. He'll give you that Joe Biden remix.
ATL,
Hey.
That's how you know you're coming back from break when Mike get to talk. You ATL ho. Oh.
Man, we're going to keep this thing rolling, though, man. Like, Tampa Bay destroyed Green Bay in yet another underwhelming super quarterback matchup. The score does not suggest how the guys played out there. So, man, is Tampa Bay that good, or did Green Bay actually play that bad? What did we watch?
I think
Go ahead.
Green Bay was probably exposed what we already knew. Their defense is not what it's supposed to be. They've been living off Rodgers this whole time, and he ran into a buzzsaw because what I had been saying up to now about Tampa Bay, get to around week 4 or 5, you're going to see who they really are as far as a team that's going to contend or not.
You said that?
Can I get an amen?
No.
Well, he know I said you won't see who Tampa Bay is until week 4 or 5. Then we'll understand what their identity is and if they'll be able to compete moving forward. And clearly, with the win they had over Green Bay, they're looking like they there for real and they mean business.
You said that?
I said it week after week, man.
Everything you said is true except for the fact that you said it.
I don't recall you saying that, but and I'm with you on that. I think we all understand that Tampa Bay's defense is stout. Like, they got a strong defense, and it showed. They play angry, they play mean, they do all the stuff that you want out of an NFL defense, right? They do all that with Sue, JPP. You know, it's like they're playing angry, and they don't care. You know, JPP gets a personal foul on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers give him the look and give him that start time. 2 plays later, he busts him on his ass again. It's like, man, Sue, it's like that type of mindset and mentality. I've always said, you talk about underperforming super quarterbacks. Well, outside of Rodgers, the Breeze, Brady thing, you still tell they're both damn old and they need supporting cast. I've said all along that I didn't think that, Tampa Bay would be much anything. Their defense has taking it up a couple of notches from last season. They had a stout defense last season. They've gotten even better this year. The running game in Tampa Bay has taken a whole new level. Jones looks like a man possessed with Fournette out. He's trying to prove himself to say, hey, it's not just going to be a one-man show. Shady McCoy is still Shady McCoy, and he still hadn't gotten that little shady in him yet as well. So you look for that 3-headed monster to show itself, along with TB12, and coming alive out of nowhere, left for dead, was Gronkowski. Like, this guy came out of the woodworks like, y'all cannot mess with me. I gave y'all 600 and some days since my last touchdown. You can't touch me. You can't do nothing with me. I'm a force to be reckoned with. The Kerry Kittle, all the other tight ends they talking about there. He said, wait a young fella. My back ain't hurt. I took some time off. I'm here to stay. With that combination, I'll be the first one to say it. Grunk was not going to be Grunk. I said that 3-4 weeks ago. If he can maintain this level of play, Tampa Bay is going to be a real problem. Not just because of Brady. And then I know you want to say Brady.
You called him Kerry Kittles like from the New Jersey Nets?
Hey, I mean, Kelsey. You know what I'm talking about. Right?
He called him
and
Kerry
George Kittle. And George Kerry Kittle. What I'm saying is, with Gronk, Evans, they still had they got a slew of wide receivers over there. And now you add in the Gronk piece, a legitimate running attack that I said I didn't think they had before they went and got Shady McCoy, before they went and got Fournette. It was just Jones. They are looking like world beaters right now. And you got a quarterback that is going to call them out. And if you notice, they showed a stat, and we talked about it the other week. 0 penalties in the first. And we talked about it where Brady went from a team that was the least penalized team in the entire league to last week, man. He got in some people's ass. And if you look at it, Bruce Arians had this statement that said, you get more with pats on the back than barking, because he talked about Tom Brady yelling at the teammates.
He gives them the pats on the back.
He said you get more with pat on the back than you do with barking. Well, as soon as I forgot who it was came out to break, one of the younger wide receivers came out to break wrong and Brady threw up. Shit, he went to barking again. Like, hey, man. Hey, and guess what happened? Shit, right the ship. You need that balance, and you need that. And he's a guy that's going to hold everybody accountable. Not only because who he is, but because how he approaches the game each and every week. And now he got his boy Gronk on tight. He got a running game that's gonna keep the pressure off him. It's gonna be an amazing year for them, man. I just can't wait to see how it unfolds, man. I'll be the first one to say if they make it all the way back, I tip my hat out to the entire Tampa Bay organization. And all of a sudden, Tampa Bay like a sports town.
They got the Rays in it.
The Lightning won a damn the hockey championship. You got the Rays in the Super Bowl, and the way Brady them looking like
World
they might be the best. I mean, the Rays in the Tampa Bay Rays in the World Series, and Brady looking as though they may be the class of the. He's out. They may be the class of the NFC right now.
I don't know. I mean, I have to put my brakes on it. I mean, that was a very impressive win, just collectively as a team. Their defense looked amazing in that game. The offense, though the score says the offense looked amazing, just actually watching it, it was still slightly underwhelming. I mean, Brady only threw for 166 yards and 2 touchdowns. He didn't have to do a whole lot because, Ronald Jones went for 113 and 2 touchdowns as well. But the score would lead you to believe that he just went out there and cooked them. That same defense did not show up that way just a couple of 9 days before they played on a Thursday night against the Bears.
Right.
If that defense had showed up against the Bears, they would have won that game too. The offense did not play nearly as well as they did against Green Bay, but the defense didn't play as well either. No way you're going to tell me that Chicago's offense has more to offer than Green Bay's.
Nope.
It's like the Tampa Bay's defense can be elite. They're not consistent with it. If their defense can play the way they played against Green Bay every week, then it'd be extremely difficult for anyone to beat them. With that being said, I think there's going to be ups and downs in a bunch of games that we're looking like, what the hell was that? And then other games you'll be like, they win in the Super Bowl. So it's going to be back and forth all season long. I do think they'll win the division because the Saints are not impressive at all. So, they've got some wiggle room to play with here. I'm just disappointed in the quarterback matchup.
Do you think it's a proverbial wake-up call, though? Like Green Bay and those guys may have overlooked Chicago and Nick Foles and saying, hey, we can beat them, we're going to do blah, blah, blah. Then they come to A game, and you get your head knocked in, and all of a sudden, like, oh, shit, each and every week we got to bring it. And this is just one of those things where now you're going against somebody that's supposed to be, at that point, Green Bay was 4-0.
But, you virtually got a perfect game out of Tampa. No penalties, defense played lights out.
But that's who they are, though.
2 pick sixes.
That's the difference in the teams they lost to. They faced good defenses. Both those teams had stellar defense. Chicago,
I wouldn't call New Orleans stellar defense now. They have a decent defense.
Okay, well,
that's a lot of credit. Like the Saints defense is not that.
I take that back. The teams that they lost to,
you could chalk that up to being the first game they've ever played as a unit because they didn't really get any practice, OTAs, preseason, nothing. I would give you that, but I'm not taking the Saints defense as stellar.
And Mike, you always talk about culture, right? Prior to Brady getting on the field with them in a meaningful game, they still had the same Tampa Bay culture.
but they got a true leader in Brady because, like you said,
that's
when
the
those guys
change.
Exactly.
It
so
took a minute.
But this is the piece that I would agree with when you saying Brady jumping in those guys' behinds. They respect him, so it's not like it'll be a back and forth. Like, you know, a lot of times you see receivers bickering with the quarterbacks, and you know it causes an issue. But nobody's going to go back and forth.
Well, you ain't got nobody over there that can do that.
But
you don't have not one guy. Ain't Mike Evans.
It don't matter. Players have egos.
You ain't got one person on that team.
Irregardless, but it happens. But what I'm saying is, ultimately, the GOAT is the GOAT. They respect him. Whatever he says, like he says, I'm gonna get in your butt when you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and I'm gonna give you an attaboy when you're doing what you're supposed to do. And it makes a difference. They respect him for that because they know he's capable of getting the job done, and he can take us to as far as we want to go if everybody do what they're supposed to do.
I agree with that. I just think that now the culture has to be Bruce Arians, the coach, can say, hey, this is what we want out of you guys. This is what we want. This is what we want. And it's fine. But when a player comes out and doing it, we all know players got to police players. You know, you look at last year, and I bring up the Braves with Acuna loafing it down first base line. Freddie Freeman gets in his behind. Players got to police players. And when you respect the body of work that individual puts in, you'll get the mutual respect. He can yell at you and you understand it's not about a personal thing. It's about this professionalism that we getting paid to do a sport.
Yeah.
And we getting paid to do a job, so let's do it correctly. And I'm pretty sure he's had some conversation with Bruce Arians about, hey, I don't play defense, but these BS defensive roughing the pass up, late hits, doing all this stuff, you got to demand more of these cats in the practice session in order for it to show up in the game time. And then I'm not necessarily getting penalized, or you're not giving the opposing offense additional opportunity to maintain the ball. 3 and out, get them off the field, get it back to us, and let us do our job. And I think that's what he's brought to the table right now.
Brady's word at this point means more than Bruce's.
Yeah.
That's what I was just getting ready to say.
Like,
By
Bruce
having
ain't
a
coming
Brady,
in with no championships and the rings and all the cachet and the pedigree from being like, oh, I was just over there for 20 years, played 18 of them.
This is what we did.
Went to 9 bowls. Like, y'all know the resume. He don't even have to run down it. He just about to come in there and just tear off into everybody's ass. Like, look, this is how it happens. Like, y'all want what I had? Listen.
And he brought in his ass whoopper with him.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Gronk being there
Yeah.
is just a straight, like, that's even more backup for them to be like, is this how he's like, yeah,
He's
that's
a
how he does it.
consigliere. It's like the mob. Gronk is a consigliere.
He's like, yeah, that's how he does it. I like the party, but what you're going to need to do is listen to him.
Yeah.
and that being said, that makes the coach's job a little easier. When you have a player like that in Brady, and the players respect, when he garners that kind of respect from players, the coach doesn't have to go as hard on the players because he knows if you're on the offensive side of the ball, Brady is a coach.
But it is also, just the type of guy he is. He's not out running the streets, partying, doing all this, and you get to see him in an unprofessional manner. Everything that he does, he conducts himself in a professional manner on and off the field. So if he comes in and he's the first one in, the last one to leave, that starts to permeate itself throughout the entire organization. Because now people are saying, if this 43-year-old is out here putting in this kind of work, my 28-year-old ass got to be in here doing the same thing. And from a wide receiver and offensive standpoint, in order for you to get on the page that I am, I'm going to demand that you get it. When I got down here to Tampa, hell, I walked into the wrong house trying to go get my damn playbook from somebody because I was trying to go get it. I'm doing Zoom calls and all this, and everybody, all you guys better be on these Zoom calls because I'm telling you what I see and how I see it and how I'm going to throw this ball. On these read options, on these option routes and so on and so forth, this is what I expect for you. And if you do this, you're going to be open. We all know that he has more talent than what he had in New England. So now let's go out here and just do it. And I ain't got to be the one. And you can see it right now. His numbers don't reflect that. But when you look at it, 166, 17 for 27, 2 TDs. But he took no sacks. His numbers show in different places where you don't really look at them. Yeah.
Like if you look at what Ronald Jones was able to do, you're like, oh, like he's all of a sudden like a man on a mission. No, that's not exactly what it is. Like they're like, well, Brady's gonna get rid of the ball quick. He's not gonna turn it over. So we thought, which he has. I mean, he stopped doing that as of late. And there's not 8 in the box anymore.
He's adjusted to the NFC South.
They're not worrying about it. They're like, oh, wait. We got to actually stop this passing attack. So that makes it easier to run the ball.
And Gronk softened that up big time. When he got hot, man, it just seemed like he and Brady were on a whole different page, man.
Well, Gronk seemed like he was out of shape. Like he's finally gotten back into football shape, and now all of a sudden he's actually getting into his routes, and he's in the spots that Brady wants him at. Because when they came out initially, Brady was throwing interceptions trying to force the ball to Gronk because Gronk was not getting to where he thought he was going to be.
He said that, though. He said that he was out of shape. He still has some nagging injuries, and he was just trying to get back into football shape. Like, I don't care what you say, the weight loss and putting that weight back on, and then that your body carrying that, taking the hits, the grueling, even though you did not have any preseason, that hinders you as well. Yeah. So now you look at it and you say, okay, well, now he's in a situation, week 6, he's starting to hit his stride. And if he can maintain his health throughout this season, they're going to be a problem. And I look at him to put up kind of tight end numbers that some of these young guys doing.
See, I was actually getting ready to move, and I forgot. Like, wait a whole minute. We cannot not skip this. We can't get away from this Tampa Bay Green Bay game without talking about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers pulled the Hingle McCringleberry, the 3-pump. 1, 2. Give me the flag.
But it was a
3-pump celebration.
Hey, was it a premature ejaculation though?
He didn't even get flagged for it. Well,
But he didn't
give
get
a
a
third
touchdown.
pump.
He didn't get a touchdown, so the premature ejaculation.
He didn't get a third pump though. That's why he didn't get flagged.
2 weak pumps.
And they were weak. They were very weak.
But
man,
he did it anyway. And I think that was
outside of the fact that I really enjoyed the celebration because
I loved it. I
the skit
loved
is
it.
hilarious.
But did that so you always talk about let a sleeping dog lie, right? Or a sleeping bear lie, right? He incensed him with that. When you as a starting quarterback and Aaron Rodgers, who's kind of reserved in a sense, right? He'll spike the ball hard, but he's not really a demonstrative quarterback like that. You go in and what you consider to be a 10-yard rushing touchdown, or 15-yard rushing touchdown, and you simply go in and do the then looked around and did it like, listen, that's disrespectful. And at that point, all them cats on the Tampa Bay side was like, did he just do that?
Yeah?
That's the epitome of T.O. going and running on the Cowboys star and doing this.
Yep.
That's the epitome of that. And he woke the defense up and they say, you know what?
If they had given him a mic, he'd have been out there like Diddy, like take that.
And he woke them boys up. And I'm pretty sure when Sue got that personal foul against him, he was saying, pump that shit, pump that again.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
got back at it.
Yep.
You cannot do that when you got fools over there. Dominican Sue is a fool. We all know he's a fool.
Man, I told you, I was at media night for Super Bowl 53, man. I went over there to the booth where Dominican was at because the Rams came out before the Pats. I went over there like, oh, man, there goes Sue. I'm going to go, you know what? I'm cool. I'm not about to tell you. He looked like a serial killer. I'm like, man, he's sitting there just silent looking like, oh, don't nobody want to ask me no questions? Nah, everybody's good on you.
You're supposed to go ask him a question because he's waiting to talk to somebody.
Everybody
You
good
should've
on
did that.
you. That dude, you see him in person, you'd be like, I'm cool.
He looks like a fool. It's
like
he
you look like you're calm. I want you to stay there. I ain't about to say nothing to you.
Hey man, but I love the way he plays and get at the game, man. He's calmed down from some of the over the top plays, the kicking players and doing all that, but he's still a monster on that D line. He's still a monster. And you got to respect it.
Did we all answer the question? Do we think Tampa Bay is that good?
Oh yeah, but we done moved on. Listen, what we
I'm
have
just
gone
asking.
to
Did you answer
is
it?
we're saying, do you think?
I do. I think they're that good.
Okay, because you.
But should we really be crucifying A-Rod for this celebration though? Is the question. Because we all know damn well, had it been Cam that did it,
AB, who's not in the league.
yeah, Antonio Brown, let Odell Beckham do
If
it.
Odell had done it, it'll be if Zeke does it, it's
Yeah,
a problem.
if Zeke had done it,
It's a problem.
there's a laundry list of players that love to celebrate, and they always get on them about it.
Do
if
you
they had
think-
done something,
Do you think he'll get a fine?
Well,
Even though he
today
didn't
was
get
two.
flagged?
No, because the fines would have come out yesterday.
Yeah,
You'd have
they
heard
would've been
about
heard.
it. You'd have heard about it. Fines come out yesterday. They found the
Did it
fines. They
again.
lock on Tuesday when
they
they
said
get
the
back to
pump
work.
was too weak.
Yeah, I mean,
He
like
got a weak stroke.
I don't understand.
Are you saying Aaron Rodgers got a weak stroke?
Clearly, he
I mean,
does.
Danica ain't there no
That's
more.
why Danica left. Allegedly, is that why Danica left? Because Aaron Rodgers got a weak
He
stroke.
showed the world he a two pumper and it's weak. but I don't think football is entertainment. Okay, even though it's sports, and I guess they try to draw the line somewhere, and it's a brutal sport at that, football. But I don't see why something like that should be a big deal. I just really don't.
I mean, even outside of the black quarterbacks, if Baker Mayfield had done it, they crucified him.
Done.
Yeah, I don't. To me,
Baker
it's-
can't sneeze to the left. It'd be like, you should have turned your head to the right. Cut him.
Yeah, I don't think
Crucify
that-
him.
That's way too strict, man. They should. That I don't see.
It's just
why.
all about who does it.
Yeah.
Clearly.
It's all about who does
Clearly.
it. And this is really truly one of those things
Let
where
Ben Roethlisberger had done that.
It's gonna
See
be
how
a-
they crucify
well,
him.
Ben had some rape charges against him. He can't do that. I'm just saying, it's certain things
Ain't
you
no
can't do.
pumping Ben.
Hey, it's some things you just cannot enter into your repertoire. That's one of them, Ben. Ben can't do that. But you don't expect that from Aaron Rodgers. And then him doing it, and nobody did not. Troy them didn't even speak on it. They didn't talk about it. Nobody mentioned the pelvic thrust. Not at all. But had that been Odell Beckham, the league has no place for that. It's just nothing that you can do. You should not be doing that. This game is not.
There are kids watching.
Yeah, there are kids watching. I love that. This is a family game. All the mamas would have been up in an uproar about that. When Zeke was doing, what was Zeke doing that everybody was talking about? That was So not the eating piece of it. It was something else he did.
Fumbling.
Huh? Yeah. Oh, you can't
he
do
was
that.
fumbling.
Yeah, you know, kids can't. Oh, he's fumbling it behind all. Like he got a case of the drops right now, boy, and he don't know what's going on. He need to go see a psychiatrist.
He do. Yeah, man. So we gonna get the fast five in 5 minutes, unlike we normally do. I'm gonna take the first topic out, throw you off for a little quick curveball because we already covered the first topic. So I'm gonna move this one up. So you got 30 seconds. You actually got a real life 30 seconds. We'll get this fast five in quick. Question number 1. Will Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko rematch after that underwhelming fight we watched?
I don't know if it's a. You said was it a?
Say, will they rematch?
I don't think so. There's no need. There won't be any money behind it. Money follows everything. The beatdown was the beatdown.
I mean, I can go with that. I mean, I say they won't have a rematch just for the simple fact that Teofimo dominated the fight. And Lomachenko came out there and felt like he just could win because his name was Lomachenko.
Lomachenko. Say it faster.
Lomachenko. Yep.
Sound like a ramen noodle.
It damn sure does sound like a flavor. Like I could sprinkle it on
I
there.
want some Lomachenko.
He lost the first 6 rounds. Like, he was like, oh, damn, I didn't think he was really that strong. Then he tried to turn it on, and even when he tried, he couldn't do it. So, I mean, it's not going to happen. Nobody wants to see it, and he might get knocked out if he fights him again.
Yeah, I agree.
I missed the fight, but I don't think, based on what I've seen and read, it shouldn't be a rematch.
Okay, fair enough. Number 2, are we ready to respect the Miami Dolphins?
For what?
They're
They're gonna put Tua in. He got a week off to prepare. I think they face the Rams when they get back, but I guess you can respect them for switching quarterbacks. But as far as being a contender,
I didn't say that. I said, are we ready to respect the Rams?
the Dolphins.
The Dolphins, my bad.
No, I say no. But I like Tua. I like the fact that you're not afraid to get this kid in there. Let him take his lumps now early in the season, and he comes back next year and do what you got to do.
I respect the coaches.
I'll give you a tiered response. I can respect their offense, but not their ability to win nor be a contender. They can score points. They usually don't win. They can't stop anybody, but they've been putting points on the board every week. Their offense is nothing to be scoffed at. But, I mean, they lost to the Pats, the Bills, the Seahawks. They beat the Jags, the 49ers, and the Jets. Those are 3 bad teams that they actually beat. They did put up good points against Buffalo and Seattle, though. Granted, Seattle probably has one of the worst defenses.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can't say that without mentioning the Cowboys, but they do have a bad defense.
Yeah. But they got Russ. And Russ we trust.
All right, so question 3. Who are your 4 picks for the college football playoff?
It's kind of early because, Pac and the Big 12 hadn't started yet. So I'm going to go Clemson, Alabama. And I reserve the other 2. I'll throw Oklahoma. I'm not Ohio State now. OU.
What?
I'll throw OU in there. Right? I'll throw OU in there. And then I just don't know who the 3rd one or the 4th one would be. With those guys, I would hope that, if Georgia can figure out, if Kirby not so smart can figure out how to beat Alabama in the SEC championship game just based upon how crazy 2020 has been, I can see Georgia, Bama, Clemson all getting in, and then you get Ohio State. But that's only if Georgia turns around and gets to the SEC championship game and somehow beats a Nick Saban Alabama team. Other than that, Alabama and Clemson are in, and
your 30 seconds are up, sir.
I got Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, and Clemson. I'm going with the usual.
Oh, you put Georgia back in?
The usual guys. I mean,
Okay,
that's
I'm taking a far left field swing.
Come
I'm
on.
going to give you Clemson, Bama, Ohio State, and Southern Cal, baby.
They're going USC.
7-0 in the Pac-12. They have enough prestige and namesake to actually get that nod. No one else out of that conference will be able to do that. But if USC goes 7-0, they'll figure out a way. It's just like when Oklahoma and Notre Dame get up there. The name is enough. I ain't saying they'll beat any of the 3 of them, or they'll even be in a game.
So
a
the
competitive
resurgence
game,
of
but I think they can do
USC,
it.
you're calling for the resurgence of USC.
No, I mean, we get blasted. I actually
I'm
don't
just
wanna
saying,
see
but
it.
you're calling for them to get to that big stage.
I see it coming.
Well, then what you're going to be faced with at that point is looking at strength of schedule again. That'll probably be the
That's not
only
what
thing.
we're talking about.
No.
That'll be the only thing
I
to
just
keep them
said what we
out.
talking about.
No.
That'll be the thing to keep them out.
Prestige of program.
So here it is, right? A lot of it comes with money, right? So money, and they can bring in the fan base. And if they go 7-0 in their conference, their division, however you want to look at it, I think they may get a nod. But again, Georgia has to beat Alabama in the SEC championship game. Granted, if Georgia gets there, right, it has to be that way for Georgia to make it. I hope they make it. But again, I just don't. That's a far fetch. If I was a betting man, I wouldn't put my money on it.
All right, 2 more questions. We getting up out of here. Dodgers or Rays? Who's winning?
Dodgers, and if the Rays get one game, I'll be surprised.
Damn, that bad? I mean, I'm gonna take the Dodgers just because they got Mookie, and I don't even know who the rest of them are. Just like last time.
Shit, they loaded. They are loaded.
Yeah, I go with the Dodgers too, man.
Loaded.
All right, number 5, last question. Does Chris Paul to the Lakers mean back-to-back championships for the Lake Show?
They're going back whether they have him or not. So, but I guess if they have him, it'll be a nice addition.
Getting back is going to be difficult, man, with Golden State being very healthy. Going to have a very high draft pick again this year. Golden State's get retooled. I don't know if Chris Paul's going to be able to do it. Has it been declared that Rondo is coming back for another year as well?
No, Rondo opted out. He's leaving.
So I'm done. No. It'll be tough. It'll be tough. I don't think so. I don't think it guarantees him another back-to-back.
With Rondo out, I say no. But if Chris Paul comes in to replace him, I think that is enough for them to be able to get past Golden State. I don't know that I would pick them, but that's definitely enough for them to go right back again.
Okay. And you got Ty Lue. With the Clippers, baby, gonna turn it around, baby. Gonna turn it around.
Assistant coach Ty Lue, who's Kawhi coaching in.
The West is gonna be packed again and loaded again, man. And they were talking about trading Westbrook out of Houston, man. So we don't see how that comes out as well. But
it's a lot.
I don't see it being a guaranteed lock. They go back to back with Chris Paul.
Oh, yeah, y'all. So, hey, appreciate y'all coming in for the first half of the show. We coming right back at the top of the hour with our special guest, my man Mike Bobby Bell Beasley, about to pay the bills. And then we coming in. So, hey.
With the infamous Pat Joe.
Keep it locked.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. And you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're right here with the Petty Sports team, talking sports. We've been all over the place. We're talking hoops. We talking baseball, football, college, pro. Hey, man, we doing our thing. We getting ready to bring up the studio guest to come and talk about the golf tournament that he wants to invite you guys to come out and participate in. His name is Pat Joe. He represents the West Side Love Cigar organization, and he is a friend of the show. He comes from we know him from the cigar world, but he's an avid sports fan as well. So we appreciate him coming in. And if we got any golfers out there, you know what I'm saying, maybe you want to take them up on this offer and come out and join those guys and playing some good golf. You ready, Petty man? You got it? All right, here we go with Pat Joe in the house.
Mike Bell failed to mention, you put your headsets on, Pat Joe. He is one of the owners of the Cigar Box in Douglasville, Georgia. Our guy.
Scoot up, bro. Scoot up.
The infamous, sometimes notorious, Pat Joe.
Hey, Pat, take it away, man.
What's happening, Pat?
Thank you so much.
How you doing today?
Invite me here tonight. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Glad you joined us.
Thank you.
No worries.
Let the people know why you're here, man, and what you got.
We got my shout out to my Cigar Box family and Westside Love. Westside Love is my 501c3, and we're going to give back to the community. And this inaugural golf tournament, which is Monday on the 26th, coming up at Mirror Lake, the lake course. All the proceeds will go toward breast cancer awareness. So we appreciate all the participation in the golf tournament. So all you hackers out there, all you hackers and scratch golfers, we invite you out to play. There's still time to get involved in the Westside Love inaugural golf tournament at Mirror Lake in Villa Rica.
So all right. So this is your first golf tournament. That golf tournament takes place Monday, October 26th.
October 26th.
And we got the flyer up and all that. So you guys it's breast cancer. You guys normally do an event at the shop. So this is in conjunction with that event as well?
It is.
Okay. And so tell us a little bit about what are you guys offering for foursomes, individuals, and so forth to come into the tournament?
Well, I can't say everything that's going to be going on at the golf tournament. I'm sure we'll have some prizes to give away at the golf tournament. There will be food there. We welcome you all out to the golf tournament on Monday.
And Mirror Lake, that's a beautiful course out there.
Great course. It's going to be the lake course, and I think we have 60 plus golfers right now.
Okay.
So,
All right.
we'd love to have anybody out there who has, plays golf. I just came off the golf course myself tonight.
Always.
And I had to make a pit stop
Yeah.
before I came over here.
We don't ask what
But-
that pit stop was, Pat. Listen, and let me ask you this: so with the golf tournament, and you guys is your first one. Is this the first charity event you guys have done, or you guys done some other things throughout the community?
Well, I tell you what, we appreciate all the support from the cigar community because a lot of cigar shops have contributed to Westside Love. This is the first major event, though, that we've had for Westside Love. It's the Mirror Lake Golf Tournament. So,
Okay.
Did you mention the fees to join for groups and singles?
okay, for a foursome, it's $100 per player.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be $400 per foursome to play, and anyone who wants to sponsor a hole is $250.
Okay.
It's a short window of time, but hey, there's still time.
And 125 for single players.
Yeah.
125 for single players. That's correct.
So all you golfers out there, that foursome for a good charity is real. I mean, it's manageable. Playing a great course. They're doing cart and green fees included. And they're offering box lunches as well. And there are several prizes that you're going to do as well. Understand, you guys done tournaments. You do tournaments all the time. It's all about what? Giving back to the particular charity they're doing. And that's what it's all about. So come on out. Support Pat Joe. Westside Love. Some of my good people over
Thank you
there,
so
man.
much.
Listen.
Appreciate it.
Cigar Box is in Douglasville.
Now, you guys doing the I would like to call it the Midnight Madness,
After party.
because if you guys have never been to the Cigar Box in Douglasville, give them the address real quick, Pat Joe.
I'll tell you, 6880 Douglas Boulevard, Cigar Box. We will be the sponsor of the tournament. My partner and I will be selling cigars at the tournament. So there'll be plenty of cigars out there on Monday.
And that establishment, like, it's one of Mike and I's favorite spots to go to, not just because they sell cigars and we like to do that, but you can bring your own BYOB, but also the hours are based on the customers. You guys pay a lot of attention to your customers and so forth. So that's
right. I always say we're open 8 days a week, but we're open all the time.
And you
for
guys,
cigar smokers out there.
that breast cancer awareness deal you guys do each and every year, I think.
We do it every year. This is the first time we've had a golf tournament to support it. I'll have to say it's really important because my sister-in-law just had a double mastectomy.
Wow.
About 3 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear
Tough
that.
time for her.
Mhm.
But I'm telling you, it's real. Something that it's worth contributing to.
Wish her well, man, in a speedy recovery back
Thank
to
you.
health.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Did you even go into the part about the after party? Is there anything going on that you guys are
Now-
holding after the tournament? Come up closer to the mic.
I can't say for sure. They had some plans about it. Table 25 is a restaurant in Douglasville. They were talking about an after party there, but
Okay.
I'm not sure what's materializing yet.
Okay.
Hopefully it will.
Okay.
We'll
Are
have
you-
something afterwards.
Are you guys doing anything at the box?
At the box, always at the box. There's always something going on there at the cigar box.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah.
Let's talk about the box for a second. And I know you're part owner. How long you been owner of the box, and how long has it been in existence in Douglasville?
Cigar Box has been there since 2011. So, and I came on about 3 years ago, and it's been really good. I tell you, my partners, Bill, Greg, and Myron, my shout out to you. It's been a great experience. I love the box. But a lot of cigar shops have opened up in Atlanta, as you know,
Correct.
and
You guys still hold it in the road.
we're still holding in the road. Yeah.
Now, what differentiates the box from the rest of the cigar spots that open up? Because there's a huge difference. We can, I can tell people why I like the box, but
Yeah.
What do you feel is different?
A lot of the cigar spots out there, they're bar and restaurants that are cigar friendly. The cigar box, though, we have about 500 cigar facings. We have a lot of cigars to choose from, which I think offers a lot to cigar aficionados out there.
True enough.
And novice as well.
Yeah, and you
And
guys
novice.
have opened up the space
Absolutely.
from the original footprint of it, and you got a VIP room as well as a primary lounge area, and then an upstairs, I want to call like the loft area that you guys have as well.
We do. We have a VIP lounge with lockers up there for $250 for the year, and we renew in January for those spots.
Any extracurricular gamage that goes on you want to talk about to invite people to table tournaments that you have going over there?
Space.
Oh, I would love it. You know, there's always something going on at the box. Right now, it's just sporting events. You know, we had, football going on and the baseball. The Braves lost. Hey, however, we still got going on. Hey, the Masters is coming up, so that
Okay.
will be going on at the box.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So we're always open to any kind of sporting event
Yeah,
that goes on.
they got several big screens around in there.
Are you guys one of the stuffy spots around the town? Like, got to be dressed up to come in with a collared shirt, or what we got here?
No, we're not. We're not. Come casual, come as you are to the cigar box. We welcome anybody who enjoys a nice cigar and just to relax.
Good deal.
Right.
Well, it's my man Pat Joe, and it's you, Myron, Greg, and my man Billy.
Me, Myron, Greg, and Bill.
Yeah. Cigar aficionados. They also very knowledgeable staff as well. The front cashier staff is very knowledgeable about it. They greet you with a smile when you come in, and there's not a stranger that ever comes into the box. I think Bill and I have been going now close to 3 years now. And, ever since we've gone in there, we started going during the Falcon football season. There's a lot of haters in there. Don't get me wrong about the Falcons. There's a lot of haters. But all the teams, for the most part, are represented from the Cowboys, Washington, Tennessee Titans, Green Bay. The Saints are in there. The Aints, I'm sorry, I mispronounced them. The Aints are welcome in there as well. So Miami. So when you come into the box, and each and every Sunday, man, you can always find your team on one of the TVs in there. Plenty of big screen TVs, flat screens, the whole nine. Poker is they play poker as well. For some of you poker, they play a stick game and things of that nature. So come out to the box, man. The box, Douglasville, Georgia, my man Pat Joe, Myron, Greg, and of course Mr. Billy. I have to call him Mr. Billy because he's my elder, right? Am I wrong by calling him Mr. Billy? Because I call him Mr. Billy.
No, that's cool. Billy, I mean, he's a good guy. I don't think he'll
You don't think he look at it in the crate like,
no.
Banks
Billy
head
cool.
around here calling me Mr. Billy.
No.
That's my guy, though. Lay it back and chill spot.
I thank you, Dwight Banks, Mike Bell, Petty Man. I thank you for this time to just, support the box and our West Side love.
Appreciate it,
There
man.
it is, man.
Thank
Yes.
you so much.
Thank
Yes,
you everything
thank you,
do
Pat
for
Joe.
the community. And hey, come out, support the Breast Cancer Awareness Month tournament that they're holding over there. What's the name of the course again?
Mirror Lake.
Mirror
in
Lake.
Villarica.
In Villarica. If you got
Very
a
nice
game,
course.
if you got a good game and you like to golf, even if you don't have a good game and you like to golf, come join these guys and support the cause, man. It's for a worthy effort, and a lot of people will benefit from it.
And, tournaments are not about your real score, man. It's really about supporting it. It's about supporting the charity because a lot of cats, man, they fudge their scores big time, man. But it's all about it, And, let me ask you this question. Is it a best ball tournament, and is it shotgun start?
I can't say exactly what the format's going to be right now.
Okay.
But we're going to start at 8 o'clock. The registration begins at 8 o'clock Monday morning.
And do you have any incentives like a hole-in-one or anything of that nature that you know of right now?
Gosh, you get a hole-in-one,
Okay.
you're going to get some cigars.
All right,
You get a
there it
hole-in-one.
is. There it is.
That's for sure.
I'm going out to get me a hole-in-one. I need some of that premium sticks, though. Pat Joe, we greatly appreciate you, brother. And we
so much.
appreciate
I
the
appreciate it.
gifts you brought in for us today as well, being a
Yes,
sponsor
sir.
of the Petty
Yes, sir.
Sports Show. We smoking good. Thanks to Pat Joe and the Douglasville Cigar Box.
Thank you.
Yes. And we drinking good, too. And brought us some Elijah Craig.
Always come bearing gifts, man. Pat Joe, keep it 100. One of our favorites. Yes, sir.
Hey. So when we gonna get you back on the No Name the Podcast, Pat Joe? Because your last entrance was
On the Petty King.
on the Petty King was a memorable night for us.
Whenever y'all ready.
Whenever we
I
ready.
didn't think that was this night, but
No,
No,
it
no,
wasn't
no,
this
no,
night.
no,
No. The Sunday night show when we need the Pat Joe. Yeah, whenever we
y'all
ready.
for that,
Well, that is, man. We're gonna definitely invite you back for the Sunday night show, Pat Joe, because you always bring the 5-5 heat.
Yeah, he do, man.
Yes, thank you, sir. Good, sir.
All right, man. We go. Ladies and gentlemen, we go ahead and do this one more promo before we get out of here and let you guys know where you can check us out all the time. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, Simple Radio. If you type in the Post 880, you can hear us on our internet radio station. You can go over to Boxcast on your smart TV and type in Kingz Broadcasting and watch us on the big screen in your man cave and your she sheds, all right? You know what I'm saying? So we doing big things. We trying to come at you guys a whole lot of different ways, man, so you don't have no excuse for not supporting us. Support black business, you know what I'm saying? That's what we like to do, man. Go to KingzBroadcasting.com, buy some of the merch. You know, you can get the Petty Sports apparel over there. You know what I'm saying? That's the same T-shirts that we wear on the show. You can go to Kingz Broadcasting and purchase as well. And you can be fly too, like us. You know what I'm saying? You can go get the No Name the Podcast shirts, the Petty Man Podcast shirts. We got a new T-shirt that just came online called Wake Up. You know what I'm saying? So go check them out, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's all to the good. ATL, ho. Back to the regular scheduled program.
Yes, sir. Y'all out there in the petty land. Need y'all to give it up one more time for my man Donnie Yin. That's I tell you, that's it, man. I thought he about to get up here and do shadow boxing on me one time. I was sitting over there clowning. I was like, damn, I didn't see it when he was sitting over there. I was like, yo, he looked just like It Man.
Oh my God.
He looks like Jackie Chan.
We gonna do no, not Jackie Chan, like Donnie Yin, like It Man.
Oh yes. There he does.
You gonna do Wing Chun?
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a bad guy.
My guy.
Ain't nobody ever touch it. Hey, if I'm getting into a fight, that's all I need. I don't care if it's 15 of them.
Yeah, man.
Oh, gee, man, we getting back into this thing for the bottom half of the show, man. The New England Patriots and Killer Cam lost his second consecutive game to fall to 2-3 on the season. Are the Pats in danger of spiraling out of contention?
I didn't get a chance to watch the game, but I don't think so. I think it's more predicated on Russ, Cam coming back in, getting back in the sync, and so on and so forth. I think they'll bounce back. Cam is the guy, healthy, ready to work, ready to go to work. The team believes in him. You know, we talked about it. You know, if that Kansas City game had they gone in and won that when he would have got the contract extension, yada yada yada. Yep. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion at this point. Cam is still the guy, and I think he's still the man for New England. So I think he's still got a lot more to prove.
Yeah, I think so too. No need to panic. Cam will be back in rare form, and they will get back onto that winning, in the winning tradition that they're used to.
Even though they are 2 games skid right now.
I mean, I'm surprised both of y'all actually took that road. Certain one of y'all was gonna just take the hater road.
I'm a Cam fan.
Cam is a College Park kid, born and raised here in the A, man. We mess with Cam, man. That's our guy. And I mean, I really truly think that him being healthy right now, and I've said it before, right? Cam being healthy is a danger to the league. And I think we all can agree on that, right?
Danger in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. Like, you know, the young guy's gotten himself together. He's gotten his body back. He's healthy, 1.5 years off in the league. He is an NFL quarterback and an all-pro quarterback at that. You know, I won't knock Cam for that at all. I didn't like him much at Carolina. I thought he was a prima donna. I think maturity has came into that place again where he realized, look, they let me go. Don't know how early New England came into the picture, said, hey, man, right the ship. But I think he took it upon himself to say, hey, I'm going to show all the haters and the doubters this is what I got to do. When he left out of Florida, had to go to the JUCO route, he did the same thing. Hey, I'm going to show all the haters that y'all counted me out. Don't count me out. I bet on myself. Shout out to Cam.
Mean, I hate to sit and make excuses, but it's like, man, there's so many underlying factors to where they're sitting at. I mean, they got stopped on the goal line by the Seahawks in a game where if Julian Edelman catches the ball in the end zone, they beat Seattle in Seattle. Lose in a gargantuan defensive effort to the Chiefs because of two piss-poor backup quarterbacks where Cam has COVID. And the part that we didn't actually take into account with Cam having COVID, he was not practicing. He was not able to practice for 2 whole weeks. He got 1 practice in before they played Denver in 2 weeks.
Did you say he was still in New England? I thought he came home, but you say he was still in New England or Foxborough
What's that?
during the COVID.
I mean, I don't know where he was.
I thought he came home, so he probably was at home, get some of them lemon pepper.
I told you we're not going to do this lemon pepper Lou stuff. Don't do that. Don't do that. We don't know how he got it. All I'm saying is the man had 2 weeks off of practice, and the rest of the team missed a lot of practices in addition to the actual quarterback. So as bad as it looked, I mean, it was disgusting. I was highly upset watching that game Sunday.
Okay.
I mean, the defense still played like they have been playing all season. They gave up 6 field goals. I mean, that's craziness when you, like, the offense is just sputtering out 3 and out every play. Defense was on the field the whole game and still did not surrender 1 touchdown.
Right.
I mean, the defense showed up. In 1 flash drive, we finally drove down the field. New England scored a touchdown and then came back at the end of the game, was like, hold up. All you got to do is just 1 drive touchdown, and you actually win this putrid excuse for a game. It gave us some hope. Like, man, my blood pressure been up way too much watching them the past couple of weeks. But it's not time to hit the panic meter. I mean, at 2-3, as ridiculous and as terrible as that sounds, and, you know, being New England fans, we've not seen 2-3 for 18 years. But the fact of the matter is, Buffalo is 4-2. They've played more games. They have 1 less loss. Winning the division is still in sight. I mean, there's a 1 game difference, and New England's only played 1 division game. They played the Dolphins. I mean, you still got 2 games against the Jets. Got to play Buffalo twice and the Dolphins 1 more time. So, I mean, there's plenty of season left. There's absolutely no reason to push the panic button. I mean, making the playoffs should be in the future, but winning the division is not out of the question.
Let me ask you a question now, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate because this is what you do.
Hold on, we got a call.
Oh, we got a call. All right, let's get it.
We got Chad from Atlanta. Hey man, you on with the Petty Sports Crew? Hello.
Not in the show.
Hello.
You went quiet storm and he hung up.
Chad, you there?
Hello?
Oh, he's loud.
Hey, all right, we hear you now, man. How
What
you
up,
doing?
Chad?
What's up, guys?
You got it, man.
What's
Speak
happening?
on it. What's on your mind?
Shit, just being an Atlanta sports fan over here. We're living in Atlanta. I see you all in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That's pretty cool. I was just scrolling down live streams, and I saw y'all had some Atlanta gear on.
Okay.
And I think we're all just hurting right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So let me ask you a question, Chad, and that's gonna be our next topic. But how do you feel about the Falcons and the reorg, if you will, with Raheem Morris taking over the helm?
Hello.
Chad, can you hear me? Oh, lost Chad. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate before we
His
get in
signal
that, right?
is just like an Atlanta team.
Man, go ahead.
Dropped
man.
it.
So you mentioned that you mentioned that your defense. You mentioned the Patriots defense, right?
Yeah.
And playing the Denver Broncos. Can you really tip your hat to the Patriots defense and playing a damn good game when the only team the Broncos have beaten this year was the Jets?
No, I'm just
When
saying
you
that
look at, like, Melvin Gordon only had 281 yards total for the entire year. Like, their offense is not goddamn hitting on all cylinders. They got 3 quarterbacks. They've all
Melvin Gordon didn't even play.
I'm just saying that's all he's gotten for the entire year. So their offense is not.
He didn't play.
Listen, over the year, the entire year, their number 1 running back has only got 281. All 3 quarterbacks only got like 1,300 yards passing total for the entire year. Can you say your defense showed up? Your defense just played a mediocre offense that managed to get 6 field goals, and the Patriots are who the fuck the Patriots are. I'm asking you.
Yeah.
You say your defense showed up, but they showed up against the Broncos?
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess you didn't actually see it, so I mean, I can,
I'm asking, but
I can
yeah.
understand why you would think that looking at just the score of it. Those weren't like red zone field goals. They was bend but don't break. McManus hit 350+ yard field goals.
Okay.
They weren't getting all the way in. That dude's leg is like next level.
Okay.
I mean, there was a couple of turnovers where they did get short fields and they got stopped, but 3 of those field goals were astronomically long. I was like, he ain't gonna make a nut. He ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna hit from it. Jesus Christ!
So
like, why does this dude keep hitting these field goals from the other side of the field?
So they did exactly what they should have did against a team of Denver's caliber, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Had the offense showed up, then that game would have been a wash like it was supposed to be. But I mean, the offense was disgusting. I mean, I don't have anything positive to say about it. I mean, they look like they hadn't practiced in 2 weeks.
Okay. I'm with you.
The offense looked so bad. I'm like, damn, I don't know if 1 week of practice, how much that's going to do against the 49ers next week. Like, damn. Can we get another bye?
Same type of team.
Sheesh.
Same type of team.
I mean, Jimmy looked good last week.
Yeah.
Don't know where it came from.
It comes from your ass on the fire.
Yeah.
Your coach's ass on the fire. Not that he's gonna get fired, but you look at where you guys came out of last year, and then all of a sudden now you sputtering out the blocks this year.
Yeah.
The question's gonna have to be asked and answered. So
I think all it's going to take for New England is just more time to practice. It was looking good and trending up while Cam was actually at practice and everybody was rolling. Then COVID came and it's like, damn, he missed the game and he missed 2 weeks of practice. So hopefully he can get back to where he was. The rest of the schedule, New England had the number 1 schedule in the league coming into the season. But as we see the season unfold, every team is not as good as they were advertised. So it's not as difficult going down the stretch as what we thought. So they might be able to get it together. But we're going to move on to your Dirty Birds.
My Dirty Bird.
The Atlanta
With a 1-game win
Falcons.
streak.
The Atlanta Falcons. You see him over there? He's stretching.
Get this shit right. Let's go.
He got the funeral ash jersey gray on.
No.
Because your team is burnt.
No.
The Falcons they dominated the Minnesota Vikings for their first win of the season under interim head coach Raheem Morris. Have the Falcons finally figured it out, or was that just like we gonna really put it all together one time? Because Dan is out of here. Everyone wants us gone. Was that just like a last-ditch effort and they're going to go back to what they've been doing?
No, for me, right, I look at it, and I said it last week. After you fire a head coach, teams come out inspired.
Yeah.
If you look at that defense, man, that played last week, they literally came out inspired. You hear all these saying the brotherhood, fast and physical. These are all the taglines that Dan Quinn was giving over the last 3-4 years, right? They actually played fast and physical. They actually played with an inspired ball. They played fundamental assignment ball against Minnesota. Now, I'll be the first one to say we got off to a hell of a lead going in. It was 20-0 going into halftime, and I think we all were still holding our breath. Like it's not going to be another debacle. It's not going to be this, that, and the third. And they end up putting up 40 points. They scored in all 4 quarters, and ended up winning 40-23, which is what you can expect from a team. Now, with that being said, Minnesota they ain't world beaters by no fucking stretch of the imagination. Let's be clear about that, right? But when you look at
Saints
a Minnesota
can't beat
team,
them.
right, well, they can't beat them in the playoffs. This is damn show. But you look at Minnesota, they were 0-2 at home. They hadn't defended the home at all. But more importantly, a team like the Falcons, and you look at and say, okay, well, we lost to Seattle, we lost to Green Bay, we shit the bed against Dallas, we shit the bed against Chicago. Should we have won those games? Yes, we should have won those games, right? But we did not. We weren't able to close the door out. We weren't able to do the things that we needed to do. With that being said, you look at the talent, and this is the kind of the margin of victory that you should have had against teams of a Minnesota caliber. 17-point margin, win it convincingly, come out and do it. Matt Ryan, NFC Player of the Week, went 30 for 40, 371 yards, 4 TDs. It was just one of those deals where you still kept them off balance. You got Gurley nearly over 20 touches. It was one of those things where you look at it and you say, hey, this is what this team's supposed to be about. A complete and utter full team effort, right? And it happened. So whether or not they can maintain it, I hope they can for Raheem Morris' sake. There are there's a consensus around the city that we should tank I don't think that should be something that we should do because they're all professional. Dan Quinn is gone. The Dimitrov era is gone. Raheem Morris, Rich McKay is in here now. Their job is now to right this damn ship. Will we make it to the playoffs? Very, very unlikely. But if they do, hey, man, hats off to him. I think he's playing for his job. I think the players are playing for Raheem Morris's job. They don't want another regime to come in here as well. So we'll see how it happens.
Okay, yeah, not mad at that at all. I mean, as far as them figuring it out, I don't think that there was anything to figure out other than rolling the first half over into the second half. Like, they really just needed to play a consistent game. And what we actually saw is what they've been capable of, because I've been on week after week after week saying the Falcons don't suck. They don't finish. The team is entirely too good to be as bad as they are. 1-5 is like, oh, you finally figured out how to win a game with all that talent on both sides of the football. Like, that is an atrocity to watch a team with that much talent play that bad. I mean, really, the only thing we've seen worse this season is the Dallas Cowboys. They're in the same boat. You got two teams with two extremely talented rosters that are just underachieving on a million levels. I mean, from every position, especially on offense. I mean, these might be two of the top two, like, wide receiving cores. If you had to rate wide receiving cores in the league, the Cowboys and the Falcons have two at least of the top 5 wide receiving cores in the league. They might be 1 and 2. I would have to sit down and actually look at it, but they're definitely both in the top 5. And between the two of them, what do they have, 3 wins?
No, Dallas is only 1-1.
What? Oh, so they got 2 wins between the two of them. Horrible. I mean, that's ridiculous. For two teams with that much talent, I mean, it's literally the same thing happening in Dallas as happening here, except for Dallas just got a brand new coach, and they were supposed to be fixing it. At least Atlanta's an interim coach now. You got rid of Dan Quinn, so it was like, all right, maybe they can get it together. They might have figured something out. They're going to play the Lions next week, so they'll probably beat them. They get a little bit of momentum. They might be able to catch a little bit of stride. I mean, making the playoffs, just like Dwight said, is probably far-fetched. That's a lot of games. You're starting from – you gave way too much of a handicap to be looking at the playoffs this year, but tanking for Lawrence, that's not happening. They'll definitely finish high enough to be like at the top part of the top 10. They're not getting that super high draft pick. I mean, I don't think they've all the way figured it out, but I think they're going to do enough to where we might see the Falcons keep Raheem Morris. If they're able to win at least 6 games, that would make them 6-5. I think that might be enough. I think it could be it.
Well, they won the game Sunday. Hats off to those guys. But not impressed. Who is Minnesota? They're 1-win team as well. Okay. I'm at a loss for words for a chance for once.
What?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's no more I can say about this team because I feel like I'm in the boat to say, if you feel like we're not going to make the playoffs, tank. Go ahead and move up the ranks and get a good draft pick. Maybe one of these hot quarterbacks that's coming out. Prepare for the future. They do this for 2 years in a row. Win games at the end of the season. For what? You take your chances of getting a high draft pick off the table because you're like I say, empty stats. You're getting wins that mean nothing. You're playing, okay, you're professionals, okay, all right. But that does nothing for me as a fan. That's not helping my organization. That's not changing the culture. They're setting us up for the same thing every year. And it's always something that keeps us from achieving or overachieving like we should be. Like you said, we have an awesome roster. There's no reason that we should be looking like we look on the field every Sunday, week in and week out. And I hate the fact that Raheem Morris is in this position because I don't want to see anybody lose a job, but he's in a position to where he wants to impress and put some wins up, but that's not going to do anything for my organization down the road at the end of the season. So why even bother? And I you know what? I would like to see them make a run at Eric Bieniemy. You know what I'm saying? And if Eric decides to keep Raheem Morris on board for something on the defensive side of the ball or whatever the case may be, so be it. But I'm looking for a change in culture, and I'm not sure if Raheem Morris is in a position to do that right now at this point in the season to make a difference down the road when it comes to us improving our team at the end of the season through the draft.
So since you say that, would you prefer that they go 2-14, get a high draft pick like in the top 3, Raheem Morris is out, you bring in Eric Bieniemy and try something else, or would you prefer that they win 6-7 games, Raheem looks good, and they actually try to salvage what they have? Because the aftermath of that, if you go 2-14, Eric Bieniemy might not even come out here and interview for the job.
Well,
He may not even want it.
For me, I'm looking for a change of culture. And to change the culture, like I said last week, nobody's job should be safe. Players, coaching, and whoever else on that sideline over there.
That you want may not want it.
Well, if that's the case, that's a whole nother conversation. But right now, this is what my hopes are for the team. Bring in a new GM and a coach and start to change the culture here, and we turn the page and looking for something new in a new era for this organization.
So Mike, when you say there's nothing to play for, and I agree that it's a long shot, right? A lot of things have to happen in the Falcons' favor. Right now, we're last in the NFC South. We've only played the Carolina Panthers, which we lost. Still got 2 games against the Buccaneers, 2 games against the Saints. But if you look at the rest of the NFC picture for that, NFC North is the only one that has 2 teams that are over 500 right now. The Bears and Green Bay. Dallas is 2-4. If they win a division, they may
West
still.
too. You missed
Yeah.
that.
Well, I'm saying, an NFC West. I'm sorry, you got Seattle and Arizona
And the Rams.
and the Rams. So you got
They
an
can get
expand.
3.
You got expanded. You got expanded playoff. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, right? But what I don't want to see happen is you develop a culture where, hey, we're just going to go in and throw it and we're going to lose it, right? You still have something to play for. These are still professionals, right? So they got to go out and they got to play. With that being said, like Feez said, they are way too talented to look at what they have. The Minnesota Vikings is the team they should have won. Chicago Bears is a team they should have beat. Dallas Cowboys is a team they should have beat. You know, so you look at that, and I still say Carolina is a team they should have beat. But you gotta be able to figure out how to close out these games. When you look at it, they played like, not even gonna say world beat, they played good enough to win 3 of the games they lost. So now they should be in a whole different situation where they're now 4-2, and you'll be singing a whole different tune.
DQ was still beat.
Yeah, and DQ was still there. But a part of that, you have to put the blame on DQ by not having that killer mentality, by not having that, we're going to keep the gas on these folks' throat. We're going to do what we got to do and put them away. Come out the second half and do that. Dirk Cutter, you look at the first half of this game, last game, he called 6 or 7 plays you had not seen all year. Different pre-snap movement, the whole 9. That's what the Falcons has to do. I said it last week. Dirk Cutter's offense has been stagnant, unimaginative, the whole 9, an old-ass, antiquated-ass offense. This week he did something a little different. Threw passes to the running backs, moved them in motion, got guys involved in it. Hayden Hurst had a better game this week as well. And he wasn't so predictable on first and second down, just trying to run the ball. Whether or not the Falcons run the table, which is doubtable, right? But they got to be able to show that this is a team full of talent that we can compete each and every week on this level. Look at the Seattle game, man. We're 12-14 going into halftime. You got to know that, hey, man, this is a winnable game. We got to keep the pressure on. We got to continue to do what we do. We got to make those adjustments. You watch Raheem Morris on the sideline. He was hella enthused about getting out the field, about going for it on 4th down and making it. Those are the type of excitement and teams emulate the mannerism of a head coach. Raheem Morris came in week 1, fired the special teams coach. Everybody's on notice. Alex Mack said it last week. Raheem Morris makes people around here uncomfortable. You got to be uncomfortable. Brady makes cats uncomfortable. You don't want to be the guy Brady's yelling at because you ran the wrong route, or the defensive guy that made the wrong guy, personal foul because you hit a guy out of bounds and extended the drive. You got to make cats uncomfortable. And when you're uncomfortable like that, you got to go out and play because you don't want to be the guy that lets the team down. I like the direction they're going. Whether or not they can turn it around, I don't know. I'm a Falcon fan for life, but I got to see more out of the entire team. Julio, Matt, Gurley, Keanu Neal, Debo looked amazing Sunday. Flying around out of the world. Scheme was on point the whole 9. These are the things you got to do for a professional football team. Look at all the teams around the league, man. They're getting at it. Tampa Bay is look at Tampa Bay. Their defense now is like, whether or not it was Jameis' fault or not, they all say, man, we played well enough to do certain things last year. Now we got a signal caller back here. We got this, that, and that on the offense. Shit, we're going to step our game up a notch. And it has to be that way.
I would say one thing, man. I know y'all guys are going pushing on, but I kind of have a sighting that teams don't necessarily tank. That's not something they do.
Oh, you don't.
And I don't expect them to tank. I think the only thing that concerns me is that, you know, why now? Why you play this particular way after your GM and your coach get fired? Why now? What was Quinn not saying? What was he not getting across to you guys that now y'all tackling, now y'all finishing in the second half? So I think I go back to that Dennis Green thing. You are who you are. I don't think they're going to get a top 3 pick. And right now they're just in such a funky spot with contracts and these players that they have that it's just not gonna. It's not designed to tank. They're not gonna lose that many games. They probably gonna pick 13th again and just do the best they can to hopefully get a GM. It's gonna start at the GM. The culture starts at the GM, and that's gonna bring the head coach in. We're gonna draft our future quarterback at some point, right in now, or maybe do some free agency. But the new coach is gonna want another quarterback.
But you guys keep saying it. Mike said it. He says it all the time. Culture. And you said it a bunch of times.
It's a culture.
They called Dan Quinn DQ.
Right.
They called him this, that. The players weren't scared of DQ. Gary said it over the last 3 years. They ain't scared of Dan Quinn.
Right,
he ain't make nobody feel uncomfortable.
Everybody feels safe in the whole building.
So now when you got that uncomfortable,
and Moore's probably had that
twinge
thing kind of like little boy at Pittsburgh, where he got that from. His head coach.
Tomlin, Mike Tomlin.
Tomlin.
You know, you got this twinge in the back of your neck, like Coach might goddamn put me to sleep. Deidre Sanat, we had a Deidre Sanat showing. Dude, Deidre Sanat ain't played really in 3 fucking. He's a second round draft pick. Made a couple of good plays. Everybody got to come out here and play now. And that's the difference, man. Culture, you talk about it all the time, Bill. Culture.
If you're not talking about going 11-5, why bother?
Well, I think they are saying they can go 11-5. Will that still get them enough to get into the playoffs? We doubt. You know, it may.
If they were able to go 11-5, they would make the playoffs. But that's just far fetched. They're not going to go 11-5.
I think our division is good enough. They won't get a wild card. They're not going to get a wild card. So I think our division is good enough that we're not going to get that wild card spot. So what we only plan for now at this point, these cats playing for their jobs.
Well, you look at it. So look at the remaining schedule, right? If y'all don't mind, real quick. You know, right now they got
real quick. We ain't got that much time.
Okay, brother, I got you. Minnesota, you got Detroit, Carolina, Denver. All winnable games, right? Then you go into New Orleans, the Vegas, New Orleans, Los Angeles, again, went up Tampa Bay. And you got Tampa Bay twice in the last 3 weeks, and Kansas City. Those last 3 weeks are going to be a gauntlet. And depending upon how we go into those last 3 weeks, you start thinking about, throwing in the towel.
Those last 7 games are not easy.
They're not easy, but the gauntlet is Tampa Bay, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. Hopefully at that point, Kansas City's already clinched, and they might be resting their players up, and we may get a cheap-ass win out of that.
They may have clinched a playoff spot, but they want to have clinched the number 1 seed in the AFC. They'll need the game.
It depends. It's a non-divisional game, and it may be that
Doesn't matter.
We'll see.
When you get to clinching the actual division, like the actual conference,
right?
All of the games count. Tennessee undefeated. Pittsburgh's undefeated. Baltimore's only lost one game.
Yeah.
They need to win. They're going to need that game.
At that time, we'll see how the season pans out.
They'll need it.
Right.
So, before we move real quick, we definitely got to pay a little bit of homage to ESPN Falcons reporter Vaughn McClure, who passed at the age of 48. It is very unfortunate we still don't have information as to what exactly happened or why he passed at this moment. Or have you heard anything as to how that happened?
I have not. They have not released a cause of death as of this moment. And then, Falcon beat reporter, hey, man, one of the guys here, local guys here, man, that cover the Falcons extensively, man. So, we want to give a definite shout out to the McClure family, man, and all those affected by his death.
Yeah, man. You know, like I don't really follow them that way. I mean, we know Led. We know Led is the AJC guy. He was very, very close to him. I mean, you've seen him here
And he took
many
it hard.
times.
He took it hard.
Yeah, condolences to the family, man. And I pray you guys get through this.
Yeah, definitely condolences to the fam. Rest in peace. I mean, that's the dude was young, man. 48.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yes. Let's make it happen.
And so we got 15 minutes till we get out. We still got to do all of our Week 7 predictions before we get to it. We're going to go very, very, very quickly. The Petty Crew is going to rank our NFL top 5. Just give me your top 5 teams in the NFL. Start from the bottom. Give me number 5. Come all the way up to number 1. Let's get it.
All right, I'll go first. I do Titans at 5, Steelers at 4, Bucks at 3, Seahawks at 2, Chiefs at 1.
Okay.
Really?
No Baltimore. All right.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go, and I'm an NFC heavy. You say, start from 5, right?
Yeah.
Tennessee at 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Outlander, Pittsburgh at 4. Then my number 3 team, I'm gonna throw Tampa Bay in there, number 3.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go Baltimore 2, and Kansas City at 1 still.
All right. You still got KC all the way up at 1. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're the best team in the NFL right now. I do have them up there. Clearly, they're going to be in my top 5, but I don't have them at the top. I'm going to go from 5. We got Baltimore Ravens at 5. Number 4, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Y'all both actually have them higher than I do.
Yeah.
I got Seattle at 3. I think Seattle could actually still beat them.
Defense.
Got Kansas City at 2.
Okay.
And right here, coming into Week 7, the best team in the entire NFL is actually the Tennessee Titans.
Woo!
Yeah.
I hear you.
Right now, the best team in the NFL is the Tennessee Titans.
They're grimy. I like the Titans. I like the way they play, but they don't.
I'm not saying I'm picking them to win the Super Bowl. I'm saying the best team in the league right now is Tennessee. If you got something to say about it, Derrick Henry will throw you out the window.
One time for it.
I don't want none of it. I'll let him have it.
Yeah.
All right, so, man, we got 13 minutes till we get up out of here. We got to get these picks in. Week 7, we'll just start from the top. We're going to ride because we ain't got a whole lot of time left, man. There's too much content, not enough time. Y'all know what it is every week. The Giants at the Eagles.
I didn't get my sheet.
The Giants at the Eagles tomorrow night. God-awful game. The Eagles are favored by 4.5. Who you got?
I got the Eagles.
Got the Eagles. You think they'll cover?
Are we doing that?
I'm not going to go there with that one.
That don't make it fun at this point.
I mean, it's a trash game, but I think Philly has way too much talent to lose to the Giants, especially without Saquon. It's a bad matchup. I'm probably not going to watch it.
Well, I don't know.
Actually, I'm definitely not going to watch it. My daughter has a soccer game tomorrow when that comes on.
What is the spread?
4.5, Eagles.
Oh, okay. I'll take that.
I'm going to take the Eagles, and the Eagles will cover.
I'll take that.
4.5.
I'll take that.
Don't spend too much time on that.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it at all. And I really, truly, based on the way the Giants bounced back, well, they didn't really bounce back. They got off on a good one. I'm gonna go Eagles as well.
All right.
On that one.
Steelers at the Titans. That's by far the best game of the week.
I'll go with the Titans at home. I think
Titans are favored by 1.5.
Going to be a good grimy game. That's what Titans do. They screwed me up on my parlay a few weeks for not covering points until this week, but. I think they're at home and they're going to – it's going to be a good game, man, but I'm taking the Titans. I think they'll cover the 1 point.
I mean, I think it's going to be far uglier than that 1 point. Pittsburgh has not beaten – the only good team, so-called, I mean, quote-unquote good team that Pittsburgh has beat is Cleveland.
And they
the
put
Browns,
a spanking on them boys.
The Browns are straight fakers. Outside of them, they haven't beaten a real football team yet.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee Titans are going to smack the Steelers. That's an easy pick. Give me Tennessee with the points. I will give you more points.
I am actually going to say that the Tennessee Titans, fuck it. I'm going Steelers.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
Yep. I am. Tomlin knows how to coach it up. Let's rock and roll.
Yeah, okay. We got the Browns at the Bengals. The Browns are favored 3.5 in... Where are they? Cincinnati.
Yeah, they're playing the Bengals. I'm going with the Bengals. The first game, I felt like they should have won when they faced one another in Cleveland. So I'm taking the Bengals in this one.
The Bengals defense is trash. Cleveland has been under so much scrutiny after the way they got destroyed last week. Then Cleveland will win.
I'm going Browns as well. I'm still waiting on them to make that magic happen.
Like, I like what the Bengals are cooking, but they're not going to beat Cleveland this week. Got Bills, Jets. Bills are favored by 13.5. They will cover with no problem.
I agree. I'm going with the Bills.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they might win by 40. The Panthers at the Saints. The Saints are favored by 7.5. That's an interesting matchup right there.
I'm going with the Panthers.
You taking the Panthers to win outright or just against the spread?
Outright.
Okay. What you got on that?
Well, the Panthers let me down last week, man. I thought they would beat Chicago. I think the teams are now starting to figure out the Teddy Bridgewater deal. I'm going to go with the Aints.
Yeah, I'm like, man, the Saints actually haven't put a really complete game together yet this entire season. They're playing at home. You know how they play in that Superdome. I think the Saints are going to actually show up and look like the Saints. They'll run through the Panthers. Got the Lions at the Falcons right here in Mercedes-Benz. The Falcons are favored by 2.5.
I'll take the Falcons this week.
Falcons.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Falcons. I told y'all, Dan Quinn is gone. I lifted my Falcons pick ban. I'm taking the Falcons again. 2 weeks in a row now. I'd have picked the Falcons. Got the Dallas Cowboys at the Washington football team. Believe it or not, the football team, which that's actually their name. Yep. The Washington football team is favored by 1 point.
I'm going with the Cowboys.
I wasn't impressed with Dalton last week, man. I really, truly wasn't, man. And the way that the Washington football the Washington football team against the Giants started out the season, missed a 2-point conversion. I just don't see it, but I'm going to go on an outlier. I'm going to take the football team.
Nah, I'm going to take the Cowboys, man. As bad as they played, Zeke won't fumble. Dalton will not play as bad as he played. He knows there's nobody just coming in for him. He has nobody looking over his shoulder. They'll play better. The Cowboys will roll over Washington. Green Bay Packers at the Houston Texans. Green Bay's favored 3.5.
Pat.
Shit, boy. Can Aaron Rodgers do it? A bounce back game going 2-game losing streak. I don't think he'll do that. I'm going to go Packers again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, after the debacle in Tampa, they're still on the road. They're playing with the Texans. And mind you, Aaron Rodgers' record on the road is very pedestrian. That's when he loses, when he's not at Lambeau. He's not going to lose to the Texans. The Texans don't have any requisite weapons. The Packers will get their life together on both sides of the ball. No way Aaron Rodgers plays that bad 2 games in a row. That was the worst game of his career. Aaron Rodgers might throw 6 touchdowns this week. Packers roll. We got Seattle at Arizona. Seattle's favored by 3.5.
Seahawks.
Arizona put up 38 points last week against Cowboys, right?
Worst defense in, since 1962?
Shit, Seattle ain't much better.
But isn't it the worst defense since the 62 Raiders?
Hey, brother.
You know how long ago 62 was?
Yeah, I do.
That's almost 60 years ago. Damn.
I'm going to go Seahawks. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks. I don't have any faith in the Cardinals. I think they were fool's gold because the Cowboys suck. They're not that good. Only 2 games the Cardinals won was against the 49ers, who aren't that good, and the Cowboys, who aren't that good. Seattle will roll them. Jacksonville Jaguars at the L.A. Chargers. Chargers favored by 7.5.
I'm going with, I'll take the Chargers.
I'm going to go Chargers as well. Both teams suck. 1-5, 1-4. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, but the Chargers have way more promise than the Jaguars. I mean, it is 2 Pac-12 quarterbacks squaring off. Gardner Minshew out of Washington State. Justin Herbert out of Oregon. I like where Herbert's cooking. The Chargers have a lot more promise than the Jaguars. I'm going to take the Chargers. I don't think they'll cover the spread, though. If we had to go for the spread, I would probably take the Jaguars.
What was the spread on the game before that? The Seahawks and Cardinals.
3.5 for Seattle.
Okay.
All right, we got the Chiefs at the Broncos. Chiefs favored by 9.5.
I'm
Chiefs.
going with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They
Chiefs.
won't shit the bed like the Patriots did.
I mean, shit. We already discussed what happened there. Chiefs, they'll cover the spread, no problem. 49ers at New England. Patriots favor 1.5.
Garoppolo goes home. Cam bounce back and go Patriots.
Patriots.
Yeah, Garoppolo goes home and gets exposed. He spent the better part of his career there. They know every single weakness that man has, and the 49ers have not looked good. Patriots defense is too good, and if Cam plays even okay, that spread is disrespectful.
Even though the Sith Lord wanted to keep Garoppolo over Brady.
I mean, we don't know that.
And the shit. 49ers surprised us. I think we all
love-
picked
I
49ers
love-
last
We
week.
only have 5 minutes left. No time for that.
I love that. Go
Bucks at the Raiders. I don't even have a spread on it.
Bucks.
Tampa Bay at Las Vegas.
ahead. Bucks.
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of up in the air about it. I mean, the Bucks looked awesome last week, but the Raiders are the same type of team as what they got beat against the Chicago. They got a strong running game. They have like a deceptive defense. Derek Carr has a lot to prove.
It's 3.5.
It's 3.5 for the Bucks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Tampa just because Tom Brady ain't never lost a game to the Raiders.
All right.
He'll keep rolling. The
Monday Night Football.
The Bears at the Rams to finish it off. Monday Night Football. The Bears are the Rams are favored by 6. These are two one-loss teams.
I'm going Rams. Going Rams.
I'm going Rams as well.
Well, you know, the Bears were the team that showed New England what type of defense to run against the Rams in 2018 when they got shut down because the Bears shut them down before.
Quarterback.
The Bears know what to do against the Rams. This was the same Jared Goff squad, and this was when the Rams still had a healthy Todd Gurley. I think I'm going to take the Bears. Yep.
Yeah, they're playing. They'll be in the
Taking the Bears over the Rams in L.A.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
What you guys do last week?
I mean, last week was ugly.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, it was.
brutal.
A lot of
Ugly.
grimy guys.
Hey, what was it, 13 games last week? I was 8
14
and 5.
14
Okay,
games.
I was 8 and 6 then.
I was 9-5.
9 and
It
5.
was ugly.
I went 6 and 14 last week.
I was better against
Shit.
the spread
I'm
than
sorry,
on the
nah.
straight picks.
I was 6 and 4 last week, man. I sucked last week. 6 and 8.
4? Oh.
6 and 8.
Yeah, I mean, against the spread, I was better, but still, it was an ugly week of football. This week, the games are tight, the spreads are low. It's going to be another one of those iffy type of weeks. But that's why we get in the trenches. That's why we study this thing. That's why y'all tune in and listen to FamousFeez. Out of the 6 weeks, 4 of them have been ridiculously amazing.
So what's your do you have accountability for how you are against the spread over the last 6 weeks?
No, I'll get it to you next week.
All right, let's keep track of that because I like I promoted you last year.
Through 5 weeks, I was 68%.
Okay.
I didn't add last week into it.
Okay.
I do know, but I don't know, like, including last week.
All right, 68%.
Yeah.
That's strong. Mike, Bell, are you back on the spread this week? Because last week you dropped out the spread.
Well, I gave my picks according to the spread.
Okay, that's why I'm asking, sir. So
Okay.
I'm gonna join in on the spread thing next week,
All right.
and we'll start. Well, we'll go with this week. I didn't go with the spread, but we'll do it again this week, and I'll get with Fees this week, kind of figure out how I did against the spread. I'm not a gambler, but moving forward, the entire staff will go with the spread. So you guys can kind of keep that, and then Gary, starting from week 7. We'll start our spread challenge and see how we do against the spread going forward, and we can kind of keep those stats running from week on. So that means we got to get our picks in and say, hey, this is what we did last week before the show.
All right, that'll work. Hey, man, we less than 2 minutes to the top of the hour. We appreciate all y'all for tuning in. This has been another awesome week of Petty Sports. We had a special guest in our house. We cover some of everything, college, NFL, little boxing, little everything. Like, man, whatever it is, y'all tune in. You know what it is. FamousFeez. They call me Facts. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. It's all FamousFeez. Appreciate y'all. I'm out.
It's your boy DB coming at you one time, Petty Sports, each and every Wednesday, man. Come in, get entertained, get your sports news and broadcast, and we're going to be out this thing Thank you. See you next week. Same petty station, same petty time.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys joining, man. Next week, tune in, 8 o'clock Wednesday. Share the show. Thank you everybody that did, and thanks for the caller that called in. Didn't really know what he was talking about, but hey, we always open to everybody. All right, ATL ho, we out.
Hey, Chad just wanted to show some love to the city. That's all.
And we back with it. You know, everybody's starting to spam us again, so that's all good. Our guy T.I. fired back at Busta Rhymes. Who cares about T.I. firing back?